Welcome, agents, to Strain 10-KNR of the 0 Point Report, a broadcast all about the news surrounding the Secret World IP. Today is December 12th, 2019, and I'm your host for this evening, Ocho. With me tonight, we have Ember.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. I wish it was morning. And
you're cut off. No.
Well, I started coughing. Sorry, I've got a bad cold. always seems to happen. And we have Jimmy the Rabbit with us tonight. Hey, Jimmy, how are you, sir?
Doing good.
Good. Always
busy. I'm about to be very much more busy.
Gotta get those ice.
Okay. All right.
Well, more than that, you guys remember when I was living in Dark Agartha last year?
There's a lot more to do now. So yes, Krampusnacht has returned in Secret World. First and foremost, the news of the day. Starting with update, what was this, 2.3.3, which launched earlier today. It says, "Behold, a winter wonderland. Starting December 12th through January 2nd, Krampusnacht returns to Secret World Legends. Deadly champion creatures mark their return throughout the world, requiring extra leg or brain work to coax them from hiding. Accept bounty missions from the Paragon Activity Board in Agartha to begin your tasks. The Krampus Gate is open once again, ushering an invasion of the vile Krampus. Defeat them and take the battle to Niflheim itself. Hel, Queen of Niflheim, returns in two forms, one as the guardian of her realm, and another as a public raid in Agartha. The Winter 2019 update also includes new permanent features and improvements." So we're just gonna go right into this. They dropped quite a big patch.
And first and foremost,
first and foremost is challenge timelines. It says outside Dark Agartha await.
Cut out again.
Cough time.
Okay. No, maybe I'm just dropping out for no reason. What are you doing? Stop dropping out.
Dude, we got a show. We're supposed to be professional.
Yeah, stop that. It says outside Dark Agartha awaits a new NPC, the Shady Salesman. Every day, he sells access to different challenge timelines, treacherous threads of possibilities within Dark Agartha, with greater potential rewards, including a new outfit, but also greater difficulty. And so, along with these new challenge timelines, is the Resplendent Talisman Imbuers. Dark Agartha now drops fragments of Resplendent Talisman Imbuers, which is now Tier 4 pip, in this case, which may be used to unlock even greater potential within talismans. And so, well, you say...
How did Andy say it?
How did he say it?
That's great.
Sorry.
I feel like I missed that part. What was that?
I forgot to turn it off after.
Oh, is that what happened? I was like, what the hell? Yeah, because the 4-pip part was funny, and then it just kept going forever.
Yeah, I forgot to hit off.
Oh, okay. I was like, all right. But yes, with the Tier 4 Talisman Imbuers, 4-pip, which may be used to unlock even greater potential within talismans, and you say, well, what are we going to use? You know, if I get all my gear up to 4-pip, if I get all my gear up there, well, E10's just not going to cut it anymore, because now they've expanded the difficulty levels. It says, for those thrill-seeking agents pursuing even greater challenges, you may go past Elite Difficulty 11, provided you have the gear, in Dark Agartha and other ranked missions. So we got a lot going on here.
That means faction missions. That means
Dark Agartha, faction ranking missions, seasonal missions.
Yep, like Fog and Mirrors scales that goes up past detail.
The broadcast, which we won't get into next year.
Tank Command are always auto-scaled, but there's an item now you can buy to let you pick a lower difficulty. It won't give you the museum items as a drop. But if, for whatever reason, you're unable to beat him and just want the achievement, or you really, really want to just take revenge and go in on an E1 Tank Commander and slap the holy hell out.
That's fair. That's fair.
There is a lucky pachinko ball you can purchase that will let you do that. So if you have that item in your inventory when you open a peculiar box and go to where you start the mission, instead of just going in and an auto picking, you'll get a pick screen like you do for Dr. Agartha or the other mission, and you'll be able to actually pick the difficulty you want.
Okay. Yeah, I guess just in case, you just want the achievements or you want something else.
Yeah. So if you just want the achievement, because for some people it has been a problem where they're for whatever reason they have an issue beating him, and you're like, if you don't care about the museum loot, because honestly you can buy it from someone else that's selling it normally, and you just want the experience of beating him, you can go. I can
feel that.
You can go just a level or two lower, or I hit up Squirrelpool and I was like, you need to do this. You need to go get revenge and just go do MD1 and smack the hell out of him.
Yeah, definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah, I honestly, if I can,
especially if you couldn't beat him,
I might do it just out of spite.
Just to walk in and just slap him. Just
like, yeah, exactly. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to just walk in and smack him. You think you're bad? You think you're bad?
Who's commander now? Who's commander? Not a bad thing. So we got a lot of guys. We got the tier 4 talismans. Now, I guess the point is that none of us were expecting this to really drop.
I've been expecting it to be a thing.
We knew it was going to be a thing. We just didn't know when it was going to. Because once you had the tier 4 weapons, we kind of knew that, or not the weapons, tier 4 glyphs.
Yeah, once the pip has been up, you get the feeling everything's going to
everything else is going to make its way there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we now have glyphs. We now have talismans. We still don't have weapons. That's what I meant to say.
Right.
So we should expect somewhere down the line another update with weapons. We just, of course, don't know when. Who knows? So how many of your items are already tier 4, Jimmy?
I don't have any. I did complete an E16
nice.
challenge mode dungeon today. So there's challenges. If you do the challenge mode, then you have you get a better amount of fragments, and then also, and I don't know that I had a picture for this before, but I do now. I'll get that for you, Ember. There's the loot chest at the end of Dark Agartha, if you do it in challenge mode, has a chance to drop extra stuff other than fragments. Let me grab that. And then maybe I can keep it up there. There you go.
Okay, so this is like this is for Dark Agartha.
Yeah, this is the Dark Agartha loot box. And you can see, or you will be able to see, I hope.
Sprints, emotes.
There's a sprint, an emote, a spacesuit.
The Moons of Madness, but faction covered.
Yeah. So it is faction colored, but Nervell confirmed that they are tradable. You can eventually acquire all the colors on one character.
Okay, all right, makes sense.
So you wouldn't be able to personally, like if you're a certain faction, your character can't loot it from the box, but you'll be able to trade with other people. Like if you got 2 of them, you could trade someone else for the other color, sort of a thing. You could end up with all of them. But yeah, so the emote Evil Laugh, which I have yet to see. I don't know if anyone's got. I haven't seen that, and I haven't seen what the Gatekeeper's Touch Sprint looks like. Although I would imagine it's probably based on the Gatekeeper in Dark Agartha, so you could maybe guess at what it might look like, I suppose.
It'd be kind of like a black, filthy, like, instead of the golden hue sprint. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It'll be filthy.
I have no idea. Yeah, that's what like a challenge timeline box looks like. Because it's only if you're doing the challenge. If you're not doing the challenge, the cosmetic stuff isn't there. And the challenges change. There's one type of challenge available a day, but it rotates. So today we saw the challenge available to take today that you could purchase for Marks of Favor was 30% damage reduction.
Okay.
So you apply that, and some people were confused at first because they thought the timer was broken, but the timer is actually hours and minutes, not minutes and seconds. So
okay, right.
It's the time until the reset. It's like once you purchase that challenge, you have that until the reset.
We have a character in front of us, Ceruleana. I don't know if you can see this, Ember, but they're doing the salt emote, which is one of the new ones as well.
Yes,
right in front of Bomber.
I think you missed it earlier. Chicken Stew and I were salting at each other. I had moved to be in front of the camera.
Right. Okay.
So like it doesn't work if I'm on my skates, but yeah, there's salt.
There's actual salt.
And then also one of the other new ones.
And are these all these new emotes? As far as I know, the new emotes are finger guns, salt.
Yeah, here's finger guns.
Oh, I like that one. That's actually kind of hot. I do that normally.
And then what's the other one? I didn't. How did I didn't? Here we go. This is Yar Yar.
I'm too old to get that. I don't even know.
It's an anime thing, right? It's like I think it's JoJo, right?
Yeah.
Somebody yell at me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. If you've seen the stream, like Andy, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Do that. It's pretty cool.
And are these? The question is, are these all from Dark Agartha? Where can you acquire?
No, so finger guns, the salt, the evil laugh. No, sorry, finger guns, salt, the Yar Yar. Is there another one? Those you just buy.
Okay.
The Evil Laugh is in the picture on the chat. Evil Laugh is from Dark Agartha. So the only way to get that one is from Dark Agartha. What they say, if you open your emote window and look at you have unowned, you can look, and then when you click on them, like if you click Evil Laugh, it'll say source Dark Agartha challenge timeline. And then the other ones are just orange. I found the salt
okay.
one.
Where are these located? Which section? The stances?
Say again?
Where are they located? What section?
They're in different spots. So finger guns is in the actions.
Finger guns and assault is in actions, and they're both 600 ARM apiece.
And then if you look for the gestures, which is like the peace sign, that's where the yar is.
And yar is for 750 ARM.
Chicken Stew says, I don't think Ember is coming through on stream or is very low. Probably low.
Turn yourself up, Ember.
Oh, I am. Well, keep going.
Project your voice.
Okay.
I'm like,
That's right.
I'm like
That's right.
right
From the
on
diaphragm.
the mic.
From the diaphragm.
Use your theater voice.
Oh, God, now you're going to make me conscious of that. I went through that for almost a decade, yeah.
So yeah, the new emotes are great. As an assault one, I find particularly hilarious. Particularly hilarious.
I like salt. I might get salt.
It's so that there's like a meme. I'm old apparently. I missed the salt meme.
Oh, you missed Salt Bay?
Yeah. Somehow I missed
Okay.
that. But my wife was showing it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. I thought it was just appropriate given how much we have to deal with salt.
I think it's also why it comes through. It's a good double there.
Yeah, it's a double for sure.
Be like, it was a meme that was popular, and also, it's topical.
The other thing that's really cool is we got a new type of cache. And it's an important distinction. It's not just a new cache, it's a new type of cache.
Oh yes, I didn't get to that part yet.
I don't
Going ahead, yes, we have now also included in the patch the arsenals of Agartha. The new arsenal caches may now drop across the.
You cut out.
Oh dang it! Okay, let's try that again. Arsenals of Agartha. So new arsenal caches may now drop across the world, separate from existing caches. These caches are distinguished by their focus on new weapons and unique talismans. The first available arsenal is the Dark Agartha arsenal, containing 3 new unique talismans and 2 sets of new weapons. So these drop alongside what is now the winter cache. Winter cache is back.
Correct.
So now we have the winter cache, and now these arsenals as well, which is just a separate cache, really.
Right, but the difference is the arsenal cache focuses on talismans and weapons. So you won't see like outfits or mounts.
But with these new weapons come weapon skins.
Yes.
Which is very important.
Sweet.
Yes, really nice weapon
Pretty
skins.
sweet. Yeah, we got
So
third
there
age
are-
skins in the game finally.
Third age skins, yeah. So now there's third age weapon skins, Filth Eidolon weapon skins, and included in the cache is, I'm just reading from your notes now, 2 types of weapons, both a purple and a blue variant can come out of the box. A head talisman, ring talisman, and luck talisman.
Yes, so the purple, if you get a purple weapon, they are third age weapon skins, and the blue weapons are the like Filth Eidolon skins. So I don't know if you remember what the Eidolon weapons sort of look like.
I do not off the top of my head.
I actually got the pistols today. Let me see if I can show that. Hold on a second here. Just go equip them and then put them on. If I can remember what they're called. So unfortunately, that set is the one where they all have a different name. So it's not like, like the normal cache weapons, you have like Flame Wreath or Frostbound.
Right.
the Eidolon skins are all like Calamitous Inspiration is the name of this one, but then like the name of like the Elemental is something else completely different. They're all in. I wish they had renamed them or put like a tag in front of them so that you could find them easier. Because that part honestly is super annoying.
You gotta know what it's called first before you really search for it.
Yeah. So if you can, I don't know if you can check out these pistols, but these are the Filth Eidolon pistols.
I need to look at the stream because on my screen you're just.
Oh yeah.
No, you're doing like the
elementalism. I don't know why you're seeing Ellie. On my screen, it's pistol.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
That's super weird that I have pistols out and you guys see Ellie out though.
Ooh, I do like the pistol skins in this game. I'm not gonna lie.
So there's a regular version of the. It's like kind of bluish. I don't know if you remember. Like the what do they call it? The Future Tech skins from the. I think it's
from the Future Tech cache.
No, not Future. No, see that was the confusion there. Yeah, there was some confusing wording, but the Future skins were from the. I think it was from the Kaiden dock stuff when you finished that. I think is what it was. Was that, or was it this? Where the hell were they from? Hold on, I need to look at that now. So, it's gonna drive me crazy. Future Tech. So here, these are the Future Tech. It's from the scenario. It was a scenario reward, and a lot of people thought that this was going to be something different, and they were confused.
Oh, the blue highlighted.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
So these are like the Eidolon normal, and then what we got today, the blue ones are the Filth versions. So they look really similar.
Yeah.
They're a little bit different, but yeah, they're all dark, menacing, filth encrusted. I like them. I think they look pretty cool. I'm digging them. And then yeah, the third age.
The blue one's a little better, but that's just my own personal taste.
Yeah, the other one, the blue one with the blue highlight, was a lot better, in my opinion.
Maybe it's just because I've had them for so long. They're old news to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I'm just like, no, whatever. Like, I don't care about those anymore.
Like, no, these are new. They're filth encrusted.
Yeah,
it's actually kind of cool
and
to have
busted.
filth encrusted weapons, though.
Yeah, right.
That in of itself is a cool thing.
All right, so I was gonna try and sell these, but just so we can show these off, I will consume them.
Oh no!
So I get the skin.
I mean, so you get the skin.
Yeah, I'll show you a third age skin. Let me see here. So I did manage to get one. I opened like 50 caches today. I got one. Alright, so let's see. Do you see it?
Yep.
That is the third age assault rifle.
It's very steampunky.
Oh yeah, the third age weapons are totally steampunk.
That is a really fun aesthetic.
Yeah, so the whole I mean you can see them in the picture I think I put on the ones that they show. Actually, do you have one of the caches, Ember?
I do not know.
Okay, well, that'll probably be an even better way to show it. I have one in the bank. I'll just give you one. And then at least, because you can preview it, you know what I mean? Like you can, even if you don't have a key, you can...
It has that nice little graphic that pops up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'll be able to show that on stream a lot better than like a picture or something.
I just cleared out my inventory.
Today has been a rough day for me, inventory-wise.
Still no Ember. What?
Volume, I don't know. It's.
I can hear you just fine now, Ember.
Are you somehow? Is your mic somehow going to Discord, but not to?
No, it's going into voice meter, and voice meter is feeding it into OBS and Discord.
I don't listen to the stream. You say something for a couple seconds.
Check, check. 1, 2. Hello.
No, you're not coming through. Oh no.
I can fix that.
So in the beginning, I'm like, and Ember's here. No one's just like,
Hello.
Like, sure, yeah.
Yeah, sure, Ember's here. Yeah.
I mean, Chicken Stew, you're still crazy. You just having me right this time.
Check, check. Yeah, it's not.
You are not wrong.
I'm kind of debating whether Ember actually
Check.
exists now.
Hello. No, I'm just a voice in your head.
If he's not just like a figment of our imagination.
It's a fight club. Ember's just...
Ember, he's here.
Ember's just...
He's our support ghost.
Yeah, I'm just your voice in your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's like...
little known. Ember is actually John.
All right. So
anyway,
Mikey and Ember, which one of you is Tyler Durden, and which one of you?
I don't know how to make soap, so I figure I'm not Tyler. It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
I love that movie. Love it. I gave you one just so you can have one. You can look at it, check it out.
I mean, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, I can see it where it's not coming through on OBS.
Ember is actually when Mikey and Jimmy speak at the same time. That's fair. You can hear him in the static in the background.
That's really bizarre. When we
the
talk
whispering voices. Hello. Okay.
Or are you just making something up?
There we go. Now I can see it come through on OBS. That's
yep,
weird.
You're good now. I heard you.
Yep.
Yay!
Yay! There he is. Now he's a collective.
I am
figment
real.
of all of our imaginations.
I am God.
Great, Chicken Stew. You just caused a singularity. Thanks.
It's a typical Thursday.
That would have been a much more awkward episode to be just go through the entire thing and be like, Ember, what do you think? Dead silence. I'd be like, oh, that's a fascinating thing you just said there. Anyway. Thank you for that very prominent thing you just said.
But of course. Now I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to take over.
So all right. So you have one up on the screen. I gave one to Mikey, so he can check it out too. You guys are welcome to keep those.
Ooh, my very own cash.
I shall cherish it forever.
So, I mean, they work. They use the same keys. You can use an Epic key on them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Someone was saying it felt like you get blue weapons more, but I think it's just because there's less options of what you can get. Like in a regular cache, you can get blue weapons or purple or an outfit
or the outfit,
map, right? And so, like,
yeah,
when it's just these options, I think you do end up getting at least blue weapons. It seems like more because that's kind of like the bottom rung, you know.
It would be. It'd be that and the distillates, I guess. But when you have to get something, the bottom rung is so the bottom rung would be the blue.
Yeah. So I think definitely in a regular cache, you might get cosmetic pieces or something, right? Like you get gloves or. Did you just get something? You just got a weapon, I think.
Yeah, I didn't mean to click on it, but.
Oh, that's
good. Extraordinary
you got
weapon.
a weapon.
Yeah.
Open it. See what you got.
I did open.
No, I mean open the weapon. You have to open it in your.
Oh, it's a magic focus, blood magic. Lost.
So
Live. Mark 2.
I got nothing.
So the blue weapons are rather interesting. I was the purple ones actually are like I feel like almost like more straightforward. It's like when you crit, you have a chance to do an attack, and if that attack crits, like it doubles itself or something like that. But the blue weapons give you 3 passives.
Interesting.
Yeah, I see it there.
So for like the blood one, when you have that equipped, when you're using that blood folk, it acts like you have the Desolate, the Eldritch Scourge passive, Contaminate, the Reap passive, and the Crimson Pulse passive. It acts like you have those slotted. So, in effect, you now can, and at least for blood, some of the weapons feel like there's passives I wouldn't normally slot, so it doesn't help that much. But for blood, those are all really good passives that most blood users have slotted anyways. So you basically get to run 3 extra passives now.
Without taking up any extra space.
Yeah, because you would take them off your build because your weapons providing them, right? So now you can slot 3 more passives. What can you do? I feel like the elemental one's pretty good too. The elemental one gives you the Blizzard passive, the Flash Freeze passive, and the Flicker passive. And Blizzard and Flicker for sure. Also, Flicker got fixed. Apparently, it's been bugged for a while and no one's noticed.
Yes, they mentioned that in the notes. It says that Flicker's passive, Volatile Current, will now deal damage the second time Flicker is used against the same enemy.
Yeah,
so if you use Flicker twice on the same enemy, it didn't do anything.
Right. The second one didn't deal damage. Yeah, and it was Bomber in chat. He noticed. He was the one that noticed that. No one was trying to figure that out. No one realized that was broken. But Bomber was like, hey, wait a minute.
Like, anyone use this ability? Anybody?
Flicker's amazing. I use it all over the place.
Well, no, it's just basically moving forward, right? It just basically propels you.
Well, the thing about Flicker is, if you run the passive, it's a giant circle AoE that stuns everything inside of it.
Yeah, but I guess it wasn't doing it twice.
I think Vommer would have to correct me. I think the stun worked, but the damage didn't. I'm not positive. I want to say the stun worked. So I used to use that in Polaris Boss 5, you know, with all the little squiddy ads that tend to stack up on everybody.
Yep.
I would run Flicker there intentionally, because when that phase happens, I just flicker back and forth. Because the circles are so huge, and it stuns everything, so it just keeps them from moving, which usually gives the tank time to come pick them up to prevent them from killing people. Super useful. Didn't work last night. OD, your assassin got over. I think that was delayed, Jigsaw. I've been having an issue with a delay, like a desync or something. And yeah, Vollmer confirmed the stun did work, but it didn't damage them. So the stun part worked. You could still stop things in their tracks. It just wasn't dealing with.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's something that apparently has been like that for who knows how long. No one had really noticed. It was a little. So mad props to Vollmer for noticing that.
The other combat fix that they had was shotgun fire at will should now properly reload shotgun shells under all circumstances. So
yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. Mostly because I don't mess with shotgun. That I leave that nonsense to Leogrin. I assume there must have been some instance where it wasn't reloading, some circumstance, but I wouldn't know what that was.
yeah, fire at will when you activate open.
You cut out again.
Dang it. When you activate opening shot, which is the active that it's attached to, you get a beneficial effect that causes your shotgun attacks to deal additional physical damage until an enemy deals damage to you. Also, when you critically hit with a shotgun ability, while opening shot is active, you reload one shell. So, I guess... I guess maybe when you critically hit, it just wasn't loading shotgun shells. I could see how people would miss that, though. That doesn't seem like something that, because your shotgun shells are always, you go through them so quickly, it's easy not to notice that.
Oh, I just realized that Ember can actually show off the moon suit because you can preview it in the dressing room.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't sure if you could. I was just trying to check.
Uniform, right? Or...
Yeah, uniforms. I think it's called spacesuit or something.
Spacesuit filthy. Oh.
The Moons of Madness suit. What are you doing, Ember? What are you doing?
Oops. That's a different suit.
I know, I was trying to get to something else.
Birthday suit.
Yeah, this is the Templar.
It's a really, really cool looking outfit.
So I'm glad they ported something over from Moons of Madness.
Yeah, no, it's
That they
super
could,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's the
One that as closely matches what actually is the game.
Right. So now you can go into filled areas and have a big giant crack in your helmet.
Can you see when I preview something on my character, or no?
Probably not. I think it's only on your instance or your character. Because you can't see me inside the area, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, wait, where are you? Yeah, no, you're right. I just see you. Alright. I need to get a...
No one else can see your previews, yeah.
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 So, the reason I need to get a picture is this is the only way you're going to see this with the bunny head, because it overlays it.
The buddy head with the
face helmet. It's so great.
I like it.
I'm gonna...
I haven't even seen it, and I like it.
Throw this in the Discord so you can see it. Oh wait, I can't. I can't do that full screen. It's got my whole other monitor.
Oh, there we go. Just a little bit of clipping.
No, no.
So I have.
I like how the rabbit eye is still kind of poking out though.
Here's I put it in chat, not chat, the Discord, the dress that I'm wearing. It looks, I wish I could do that for real in the game. I totally would. I need to send this to like Nerval and be like, this needs to be I need to be able to do this.
Be like, make this cleaner. This needs to be.
Like, yeah, no, I don't mind
where it clips in the front. It's okay, but
Yeah, I don't mind if it clips. Just let me do it. You know what I mean? Let me put the face helmet on top of the bunny helmet and wear it in the game like that, please. I need to start like a petition, anyways, for bunny head friendly cosmetic accessories.
I feel like just take the bunny head and just make it its own.
Where's the cat ear headphones that fit my head? What's
there
this
we go.
discrimination about? Is what I want to.
Oh, those work. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So this is another point of contention. The bunny ears, the from the hot pants like outfit, used to be a face item like sunglasses in TSW, so you could wear them with hats. And some reason or other, when they got ported to Legends, they decided that the bunny ear headband should be a damn hat. So you used to be able to put on hats and have bunny ears sticking out the top of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that anymore.
Can't do it anymore, yeah.
Because they changed what slot it's in.
You can make the fun clipped items its own separate category.
Like Palmer said, we need to make it a face item again. They need to. But see, here's what I don't understand. They could have made it, even if they didn't want it to be a face item, it's a headband. Why isn't it in the head accessory slot where the headphone? It's the same type of item. You know what I mean? Like the bunny ear headband is like literally the same concept as like a headset. It's a plastic band that goes over your head, right? So I don't know when they moved it, why that happened. I don't even know if it was on purpose. Someone might have just assigned it to the wrong slot. You know, the dressing room is
Who knows? It may have been in the wrong slot in the first place.
You know what I'm saying though? It doesn't match any of the other hat stuff. It most closely resembles. I'm not sure it ever made sense as a face item either, because it's not a face item. But it most certainly is a head accessory. A headband is a head accessory. Like that's what it is.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Head.
Right?
It should be with all the other things in the head accessory slot. You know, where your plastic elf ears. Look, plush antler headband and reindeer antler headband are in the head accessory slot. Why is rabbit ear headband a hat? That's what I'm saying.
We'll go on change.org. We'll make it happen.
Starting a petition. Starting a GoFundMe. Gonna raise money to make this happen. Are you putting on the horse mask?
I was just been going through another listing of hats.
Just to see how they clip with the outfit.
Yeah,
it's nice.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds
good
me
content.
of the normal cosmonaut outfit, the red hand one.
Mm-hmm.
So back in TSW, I would wear that with the bunny head a lot. Like I would wear that around a lot. And one time, randomly in Agartha, ran into like 3 other people in their suits, each with a different animal head on. Someone had like the nightmare steed mask. Someone had the unicorn, and I think someone had like zebra or something. Like it was another like horse head variant. And so we all were doing the Nasir dance in our red hand cosmonaut outfits with animals, just hanging out. I didn't know them, right? We just ran into each other. We were hanging out. And apparently we all queued for dungeon at the same time because I ended up in a slaughterhouse dungeon with the same people.
You're like, this is kismet, really.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome.
Amazing. No, it kind of looks like at the top. I mean, it kind of looks like at the top of the. No, that one doesn't. That one's totally clipping through. Some of the items, it looks like the head actually starts where the helmet is.
Yeah.
Or is that just me?
Also, if you notice, if you go around, it moves in and out, flipping. Like this party hat, you can see it. Like it changes its flipping location.
Is that a spoiler for Moons of Madness? Party hat?
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
On the
You had like 2 months.
That's it. We can tell spoilers now. It's okay. That was our last show, as we had all the spoilers.
Yeah, and in a game you get a party hat. Ta-da!
You go to a very nice party.
All right, so while he's looking at that, which I 100% approve of, you should keep doing it. Let's talk about some of the other things.
Yeah, some of the other things. Okay. We can go into the writing contest agents, because the winning entries of the agent writing contest, Elin Bog, I'm terrible, Rana Cater, Walker Malone, and The Cleaner are all now agents available from the Shadow Trafficker in Agartha for hex coins. So all the agents now from the writing contest are now in-game, and you can go and get them.
And they're amazing.
And they're amazing, yes. So the grand prize winner again was The Cleaner, created by Static. His description is that he's seen things with tentacles. He's probably seen nearly everything. Large, sleep-deprived, caffeine-strong eyes that have looked into the void and then mopped it up. He looks older than he is. His face is quite drawn and grumpy. This guy doesn't sleep easy at night. And he has a mop. Dun, dun, dun. And he actually has a mop. That's the fun part.
Yeah, I think I saw somebody with a mop earlier before we started the show.
What? No, it's a, as far as I know, it's a, an item that you can attach to your agents to improve their success rates.
I thought they were holding something that looked like a room or something. Maybe I'm seeing things. Hey, it's a secret world.
I think you are. I mean, we already concluded that you're a figment of our imagination, so it's okay.
Exactly. And everyone's enjoying.
And everyone enjoys it, right?
Yeah.
So all of the agent writing entries are now in the game. I'm just going down the update notes here. So in general, right, the increase the maximum elite level to Elite 17 is now the relative max. I think that's the facing max. I think it goes even a little further than that on the back end, but the front end it's Elite 17.
Yes, correct.
And this will be for Dark Agartha, faction ranking missions, Into Darkness, the Venetian Missile Crisis, Rogue Agent, and seasonal missions, Fog and Mirrors, which is going on right now. If you haven't done it, that's a good mission. It's a great mission. They came out with that last year? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the broadcast, which we just passed by, so we won't see that again until next October. In missions, they say in Rogue Agent.
But in reference to that, it will fix the issue that happened this year where people were not able to get the achievement for completing it at their hardest difficulty because they were over-geared for E10, and so it wasn't registering.
Oh, okay.
That was an issue this year. So the scaling going up actually fixes that problem.
Okay.
So people were doing broadcast E10 because that's the highest that was pickable, but their IP was like E12, E13, E14, etc.
Okay.
And so they were not able to get the achievement. They're like, "What's going on? I beat him at the highest difficulty. Why is it not getting the achievement?" So the scaling of that mission being upped, like all the other missions, means that achievement works now. That was confirmed.
So is it given post to those who maybe have completed it, or do they have to just try to get it next year?
I don't know what they did with that. I know people reported it during the time. I know like Andy was aware of it. I'm not sure if they addressed it. as far as trying to manually award it. I'm not sure what happened there, to be honest.
Right, because that's a back end thing as opposed to the front end thing.
Yeah, and I don't know. Even if like, it's one of those things too, where like if you petition a GM for it, right? Like, I do remember at TSW in the past, like if you had an issue in a scenario with like loot not being given to you for a certain difficulty, you better be in that scenario when they respond, because they have no way to know which difficulty you did unless they can check it when you're in it. So a lot of times they'll take note, they'll provide feedback that something's broken, but a lot of times they can't reward you because they have no way to prove that you actually did it.
Gotcha. So yeah, so probably is more like a sorry. Maybe next year.
Yeah, I mean, that said, I don't know how they handled it at the time.
But we don't know. That's the thing. I was.
We do know that it shouldn't be an issue next year, because now you'll actually be able to pick the difficulty you are geared for.
Let's say, other than that, it says, in missions, Rogue Agent, the reanimated remains can no longer be attacked before they have finished standing up, which I feel like that's a dang shame.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things, there's a couple of areas in the game like this, but essentially, when those guys first stood up, they didn't have all their little tags set yet. So if you shot them immediately, you would one-shot them super easy, because they didn't actually have the right health value yet. But once they finished standing up, their stats would get set, and then they would be whatever health they're supposed to be for that difficulty level.
Okay, so it was more like a that one's more like a not an exploit, but kind of like a workaround, really.
Yeah, it was. A lot of people thought it was legit. Like, okay, you just have to kill them fast enough, and then it's easier. But it was not intended to be that way. They're intended to be the right health. There's other examples of this that you only see once you start massively overgearing things. For example, in Tokyo, or even, well, other places too, anything that, most filth stuff, when you kill it, drops a filth puddle, right?
Right.
So, but any filth enemy that's spawned in, like the Ravenous side mission in Tokyo, for example, where like you go up to that area and all of a sudden he drops down from above. Any enemy that's spawned in, it takes it a couple of seconds to set its flag. If you one-shot him when he drops in, he doesn't drop filth when he dies. Same thing for the nursery mission at the end, when the filth guys run out of the little air duct vent things. Because those guys are being spawned in at the time. When they run in, if you're overgeared, you can just one-shot them. They won't drop a filth puddle if you just one-shot them right away. It's the same principle.
They just don't have time to actually set the flag to do so when they die. Yeah.
Right. So it's just that in these guys' case, they're spawning with some base health, and then their real health is getting set like a second or two later. I think it's probably also why so they used to farm certain bosses for achievements, like the Zamu Mother in Promethean Fangs. If you kill those guys fast enough, their respawn timer gets shortened significantly. Like if you can one-shot them quick enough, it's like their timer doesn't get a chance to get set properly. And so they don't respawn instantly, but they respawn a little bit quicker than the normal cooldown time between them dying and them showing up again. But yeah.
Okay.
So it makes it a little.
So a couple places where that's actually a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's how the system works, right? Like, it's just in this case.
It was kind of breaking it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was making it way too intense. Shout out to Massive.
I see him behind us on the B scooter.
There you are.
Creeping behind us. So moving on, right, in the vendor section says Dr. I don't think it's how it's pronounced. It's not Caligari. It's not that. Is it like Caligari? I don't know.
Caligari.
Now sells the peculiar box. So now if you
You cut out.
ah, dang.
Take a shot.
That if you're trying to get a peculiar box, dang it. And you haven't been able to get one yet. He now sells it. So this is the vendor in New York. He now sells the peculiar box for
No. He's in Agartha.
Oh, he's in Agartha. Oh, that's right. No, he's just one of
The
them.
achievement vendor. It's the achievement vendor.
Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the guy that had the chainsaw.
Oh god.
Oh
No. I'm blinking now too. Yeah. Oh man, come on. The surgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw Dr. Caligari, that's the first one I thought. I was like, oh, it's him in New York? Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's where you
No,
get
it's not.
the chainsaw.
He's in Agartha.
Well, he used to.
So no, it's Dr. Caligari, the vendor in Agartha, now sells the peculiar box for, how much was it? 2 million?
2 million marks of favor, correct.
2 million marks of favor. That's a lot of marks.
Dr. Aldini.
There you go, Aldini.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Volmer.
What's it do? The
That's
peculiar
really far
box. The peculiar box is what lets you do the tank commander mission. Now, the peculiar box is an RNG drop from literally basically opening anything in the game, from chests to just green talisman bags. Literally anything has a super tiny small chance
Really small, yeah.
of it popping out. But if RNG has not been in your favor and you wish to do so, you can pony up to just straight up get one. So there's not really a need to, for the most part, I think, for most people. And I will say also that a lot of people farm dungeons because the blue chest in dungeons, any blue chest, not just the last one, has a better than average chance of dropping a peculiar box. So if you're really looking to get one and want to do the tank commander fight, that's the go-to way, is the blue chest in dungeons have a higher chance than other ways. That said, I've had multiple characters get theirs out of green, just regular green talisman bags from turning in missions. They just open a bag. I think I got one from a Symbolo bag before. Like any green bag,
Any bag will drop it, yeah.
Anything technically has a small chance of having that little box fall out.
It's just some people have been lucky enough and other people have been super not lucky.
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly debating it on my pacifist character because I was running, and I stopped grinding on that one.
So yes, I haven't gotten one either, Masick, so don't worry.
So, I mean, but 2,000 marks, like, if you think about it versus the playtime versus RNG, like, I don't know. I don't know how insane it is. And they certainly, if no one buys it, I'm sure the price might come down. The thing is, there's precedent in the game. Like, any decent KSR has pretty much always sold for 2 million marks.
Yeah, no, I don't think they chose that number just completely out of nowhere. That number has been,
Yeah,
you know,
and I feel like you can more reliably get a KSR out of a cache than you can get the peculiar box. So, if you're talking about marks of favor versus RNG, right? Then I don't think it's that much. if that makes sense.
It's like, well, standard, what? It's, you basically get about, what, like 10,000 marks per day from just doing the missions?
Yeah.
So that'd be equal to 200 days worth of work.
And the thing is, that you even use the peculiar box, you have to have 100% in every zone.
True, yes.
You have to have done every single mission, every single side mission, every dungeon, every champion, every investigation mission, and explored every area of the map. For all the maps. So before you can even open it.
What does Tank Commander get you? It gets you the final pieces of the museum.
But it gets you, so if you beat him, he'll drop those items. He can drop those items, or I should say, he's guaranteed to drop one of those items.
The Tank Commander blade and I forget what the other one is.
Depleted energy cell.
Right.
But the other thing is, it is the first and only so far auto-scaled to your highest recorded item power instance in the game.
Which is fun, yeah.
Yeah, when you walk in there, all the enemies, it's not just him, there's like a little mini instance. All the enemies are auto-scaled to you. Which means, like, you're not just one-shotting Orochi drones, you're actually fighting Orochi drones, the cyborgs. Like, you're fighting them now, it's a fight. Because they have a lot more hit points, a lot more damage, because everything in there is scaled to you. So it's a challenging fight. Tank Commander himself is very challenging.
And this goes with the second part of what Dr. Caligari is now selling. But he is also selling a lucky pachinko ball.
Correct.
And what does this do?
So, if you purchase the lucky pachinko ball and have it, so it'll be in your mission item inventory, and you open the peculiar box, and assuming you're able to do so because you've met all the requirements to open it, then when you go to the entrance of the tunnel, you will have, instead of just going in and having it auto scale, you have the opportunity to pick the difficulty level. So you can actually go into that fight at an easier version should you choose. So your peculiar box is never used up until you actually beat Tank Commander. So if you're throwing yourself against that fight over and over, and you're just not having any luck, and you want the achievement and don't care about the items, you could go get the pachinko ball and be like, I'm going to go in and do this 3 levels lower, or whatever you want to do. And you'll still get the achievement. You won't get the museum item as loot drops, but you still get the achievement, and you still get to complete the... He is the Tank Commander from Manufactory A. Like, he does many of the same attack. I would say the fight is actually harder. To answer Masik's question in chat, he does like the cyber pull and cyber spin that everyone remembers that played TSW and played Manufactory A. That is.
So, but with the pachinko ball, it now makes it just easy because if you just want to go in and just get the achievements, you won't get all of the loot, but But just to get those chivos.
Just to get the chivos, just to have the experience down of maybe, getting it under your belt.
And slamming
or just going into E1 to just beat the holy hell out of them.
Just be like, you thought you were tough, huh?
He is. So, funny anecdote about that. So apparently, we talked a little bit before the stream. Tank Commander went live. It was a bit overtuned, like a bit too hard, like basically intentional. And the idea was, if once people got a box and tried it, if people couldn't beat it, they were gonna crank it down a notch, right? Because it's a lot easier to tune something down than tune it up. So, no such thing as too hard. That's what she said. So, apparently, and this was from Nervalis. It was like, yeah, it was overtuned and it was intended to be tuned down, and then someone beat it on day 2.
Of course. Of course.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Why, whatever could you mean?
Yeah, who would you be talking about there? Whoever.
And I'm not positive, but it might have been actually like day 1 night, potentially. I don't remember if I streamed it like that night just late or what. I think that might have been what it was, and I posted it the next day. Point is, it was supposed to get like they had anticipated it being too difficult and having to tune it down, and then like once it got beat right away, they're like, well, we're not tuning it down now. So, whoops.
Right. Well, it kind of reminds me of the writer from Secret World, Secret World Past. When they were like, oh, you know, we're gonna have this new event, and the event's gonna basically take up, like, it's gonna take so long for people to get, and everyone just started getting it like immediately.
Yeah. Well, probably what it's closer to is I think the first Flappy raid. I want to say it was the first Flappy raid in TSW was supposed to be mathematically unbeatable. Like they made a mistake, and Lag Spike beat it anyway. Like it took a lot of time. They spent a lot. I remember watching streams because I was well before I was ever part of the. I was just a fan of their work at that point.
Right.
And I was watching out, like, they would literally be streaming for hours, and they would just rotate in people. Someone would be like, I have to leave. So they would, like, exit the raid, swap in a couple people, and then just keep going. They just threw themselves at that raid for fucking ever. But they got it, but it wasn't supposed to be. Like, it should have been possible.
They're like, whoops, it was about 5 times harder than it should have been.
Massic says, remember correctly, part of someone went could. So there was multiple people that were data mining Massic, but the biggest problem with the Rider event was it had no blocking. Nothing prevented you from getting one of the end items on day 1 by accident. I found one of the candles on day 1, and all you do is like use the random like potions you've been getting as drops near, and you would get one of the items. You would get one of the final stones without having done any of. That means no summoning, no mega summoning, no figuring out like the scraps of photographs of where you need to go to summon.
Yeah, they made it very. So
one of the puzzles got solved correct, like more or less correctly. I think someone data mined the photos, and so they ended up just releasing those for the worship locations. But one of them did get solved like legitimately, and they found like the candle and kind of figured out. But as soon as that happened, the entire community, with like no exception, just started running every instance they could think of looking for candles.
Yeah.
So the other 2 puzzles, like, never even got attempted to be solved because it was like, oh, we need to find a candle and do something. Skip.
Yeah, it was basically brute forced.
And my point is I was actually informed by someone that had data mined on day 1. On day 1 of the event, I found a candle and was sticking with it, and it was a friend of mine. It was like, hey, don't tell anyone about that. It's literally going to spoil the whole event. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't, because on day 1 you could have had one of the final 4 pieces, and you would have known all you need is a candle and to dick with it in some fashion. Can you imagine the Rider event with no one ever doing any summonings? Ever?
Because it was then unnecessary. Yeah.
Because it was all unnecessary. they really needed to put blocking in. They really needed to put blocking in. There's nothing that prevented you. It's not like the solving gave you something you needed for the next piece. The enemies dropped the potions you needed to use on the candles, like day one. All you needed was the potions and find the candle. And I think technically, like, if I remember one of the riddles, like, you need to have like 4 of the same faction around the candle. But people just figured that out by dicking around with it, you know what I mean? Like, you would just randomly got that. So, while I think it was a very interesting, large-scope idea, I have serious concerns about why you would ever release something without step 4 meeting step 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with no gate in place, it didn't make much.
You can just go to step 6 and like be done. That was rather. So regardless, I know there was a whole big thing. Like there was multiple data miners going on. There's lots of shade throwing around the community, but the biggest problem was that, well, 2 things. One, it was designed with no blocking, and 2, apparently once you did it, it could never be done again.
Never again, right? Only once and done.
So when me, a couple of friends, and some random person in Agartha that happened to have one of the other stones we needed attempted to try and see what would happen, since we had all of them, like, we tried to figure out the clues. We're like, what if we just try and... We failed, like, 2 or 3 times. We had to find different Agartha instances. It's like 2 in the morning on a Sunday, and we're literally just dicking around. We get it to happen, and anyone that was part of the process doesn't get to see it, by the way. We had another person on the Agartha main place, just who was supposed to be lookout. Like, hey, if something happens, let us know. So none of us involved in the summoning with the actual stones got to see the rider come out. Because you're too far away. You're like on weird random branches in Agartha. So no one in the group got to see it. Someone that was spawning was like, hey guys, something's happening, quick, come over here. By the time you get there, it's done. And then no other group can do it again. Like, that is my single biggest pet peeve about that that whole event. Was the summoning stuff was great, like getting people to organize, prayer locations, all that stuff, that was super fun. But the gating wasn't there, and the end was just ridiculous. There's no, like, you should have,
for being the
like
culmination, it was nothing.
You should have had like a week where everyone could do it themselves, like, repeatedly, right? And get some kind of, like, special thing for having actually, or it should be something where, like, okay, you did that, and now in 12 hours we're going to announce, like, Whispering Tide, right? Whispering Tide, they announce it's going to happen. Everyone knows for this range of time, Flappies are flooding through Agartha, let's go see it, right?
Right. Yep.
But that wasn't triggered by
not what happened.
People dicking around with stones in Agartha at some god-awful hour of night. Can you imagine if Whispering Tide was like that? How mad people would have been?
I was like, thankfully, that one person who just happened to be by the portal was also recording it.
Yeah,
which wasn't necessarily a thing at the time.
Sadly, it was pretty poor. I was a little annoyed because I could have recorded it better if we had traded spots. Like, if they used the item and I was there recording, it would have been who sends you FLV is what I want to know. But I took it and I posted it because they didn't have a place to post it. But yeah, the only reason that exists is because he happened to be able to record it. And that was because we had the presence of mind to have an extra person to just keep an eye out. Because based on where you had to stand, we were pretty sure we're not seeing anything. The locations in Agartha were, all the windy branches, you have to jump crazy things to get to. They were so far apart. We're like, there's no way we're seeing anything. We need a spotter.
Yeah.
So, but no one involved had any idea that, like, once we did it, like, no one could do it again.
That was it. Yeah.
Like, because it's not like, I mean, you know, it wasn't even like all with all Cabal members. Like, we just found random people that night and they're like, oh, yo, we have all of them. Let's see what happens. So frustrating. But I digress.
Oh, but that was, yes. But it kind of reminded us of that, of the once and done sort of feeling of that. So moving on, again, part of update 2.3.3. This is one of the it's kind of buried a little bit. Not really. I mean, it's down there. Part for the dungeons. It says that now elite dungeon chests will no longer drop agent dossiers for players who are eligible to queue for a difficulty more than 3 levels above the dungeon's current difficulty. So, in a nutshell, if I'm reading this correctly, it means that if you are, say, of an E8, your gear is E8 level, if you run anything under E5, you will not be able to get the agent dossiers from the dungeon chests.
I mean, you can still grind, you just can't grind to E1 nonstop. I mean, if you're E4, you can probably do E1.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, but it gets to a point where it's all of a sudden you get to a certain point, you can't do anymore.
Well, even if you're E10, you can do E7. And if you can do E10, E7s aren't that hard. The difference is people were, E10 people were soloing E1s. Or what the bigger problem was, E10 people were queuing for E1s and just blowing through them, whether the other people in the group wanted to or not. That was a rather big point of contention in the community.
Right, because an E10 can basically solo an E1. So,
oh, sure.
So they would just take people through, but they were just doing the whole dungeon themselves and saying good luck to everyone else behind them.
Yeah, and so some people are okay with that, but a lot of people want to actually try the fights, actually see mechanics, maybe actually try and tank, and that's how you learn, right? You should learn in the lower levels how to do things, and it's been kind of an issue. I'm not mad about it. It definitely will.
It's just something different, yeah.
But not entirely, because it's only, as far as I can tell, it's only for the agent dossiers.
Yeah, and you can still do it just to do it. You can still burn keys
to just get like the distillates or something,
Yeah. Now they didn't say it. They didn't specifically call out that it affects peculiar boxes, and I still know a lot of high-end people will run E1s just for the blue chests to try and get peculiar boxes to drop. Although most people I know that do that just solo it, because, like, why would you want someone else to steal your RNG of getting the box?
True.
There's nothing worse than specifically farming for something, and then you're in a group, and the other person gets it and not you, and you're like, that could have been mine!
Yeah, son of a...
So
I
feel like, should have been soloing it anyways, but I mean, you still could see some of that, I suppose, but it definitely will help. I think it will help in general de-incentivize doing dungeons far below your level, because mostly those guys don't ever loot the dungeon chest. There's no point. If you're at that level, those distillates mean nothing to you.
Right.
So,
right.
So, it incentivizes you to do stuff that's higher. And to be honest, it was a little weird that essentially the game was incentivizing you to run lower stuff.
It was, and yeah, that's kind of a design decision that you got rewarded just as much as if you were running stuff at the level you were supposed to be running it at.
Right.
You know, like it was the same agent dossier, whether you got it from E10 or E1. So, at that point, yeah, if that's what you want, why not run at E1?
Yeah, because you can do it faster. So the game is telling you spend less time, do things easier, get this reward. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it just makes sense. So now they kind of curb that, and so now if you go into a dungeon, I guess the idea is that you're going to find people more along your same level when you go and run dungeons. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Unless they already have the agents, right? Unless they're going in for other reasons than to get the agents themselves. So this also could feel like a kind of like a test bed for, like, seeing if it actually kind of splits the community to be where they should relatively be in a dungeon, as opposed to just running it just to run it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because a lot of times too, like you would, I know people that would, with not any real ill intent, right? They just click dungeons and queue for everything at once, and whatever pops.
Right.
So they're E10, they've queued for 1 through 10, and if E1 pops, that's what they're running. And now I still say, like, this is on the person running it. You should be, you know, a decent person, and maybe not just one-shot the hell out of everything unless people are okay. I know I personally, when I go into E1s, will make a point of being like, hey, do you guys want me to kill this thing in 2 shots, or
should I just hang back and, you know?
Because I'll hang back, and then if, you know, things go sideways, I'll take care of it. I'm totally fine with letting people, you know, do what they want to do. But there's a lot of people that aren't like that. There's a lot of people that queue for everything, and if they get an E1, they just hit the gas and go. And, you know, to the point where, I mean, people's complaints have been like, I was in an E1, and they finished the end boss before I finished looting the second chest. And I can see how that's perturbing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because you're just, like, wandering through a dungeon with nothing in it. But,
hate to say, this is one of the reasons why I don't necessarily run dungeons in the first place, is because this isn't a Secret World issue. This is a overall MMO dungeon issue.
It's probably a person issue.
You're right, yeah.
A human being issue.
It's the whole, you know, you go into a dungeon and you just go. And, you know, it's why I don't necessarily like running dungeons unless I can kind of go through at my own pace, and the whole aspect of running with other players just doesn't necessarily allow that to happen. So I just usually don't do it.
You cut out again. Oh.
Chat.
Or he's vanished.
I vanished. Even my mic was like, nope, you're done. But yeah, my point was that it's not just this game; it's any game. Any MMO kind of has this problem of, as much as they put in these dungeons to make them interesting, to make them fun, to make them, you know, lore heavy, people don't necessarily care. they just want to run through and get the loot. Especially if it's like their 50th time through. But if it's your first time through, that's where it kind of stops jiving. If that makes any sense. And that's normally why I'm not a big dungeon runner in the first place, is I always feel like, because I don't do them as often, because I have not really been doing them from day one, that I will always be on that back end. And so, I just don't like, you know, needing people to, them all running ahead, and I'm just like, oh, what's back here? No, it's just... I was like, oh, I'm just collecting lore over here. Oh, you got this lore 3 years ago? Okay, that's fine. I'm still gonna collect the lore.
See, I'm the guy to run with, because if I know you don't have the... I'll run to the spots where I know the lore is and make you follow me.
Right. But again...
Like, it's over here.
Pickup groups, that's not the case.
Like, you want a side trail over here. I've had multiple people been like, I would never have gone over here. Like, yeah, no, follow me. Follow the white rabbit. I will lead you to stuff.
So that's everything that we have for the update that happened, but there was a live stream on
yesterday.
It was Tuesday. Yeah, or Wednesday. It was, oh man, it's been so long.
It was so long ago.
It feels like a couple of days have passed since then. It was indeed yesterday. Okay. And Jimmy took nice notes all about the event. So we're going to kind of go through that. Right there talking about the Krampus event going live. So there is a current known issue right now, that talisman fragments, which are what you need to now upgrade to tier 4 talismans, can be put up for sale on the auction house, but you can't actually find them to purchase them on the auction house. So that's fun.
Yeah, so that's something I'll need to address.
So you can put them up there, but no one's going to buy them, essentially.
So, we now know, this was in my notes from the other day, but now we know what the new sprint, well, we know the new sprint is called, like, the Gatekeeper sprint. We don't know what it looks like. But it is kind of funny that he finally confirmed the alternate way to get an invite to Rosenbrawl.
Yes, it says that, Nervel teased, the new sprint, but confirmed the alternate way to get an invite to Rosenbrawl. Nervel said on the Discord server, it's been long enough now that I have no qualms in divulging it. There's a chance when you win Shambhala to get an invite to Rosenbrawl. So if you don't have one yet, just let us know. We'll get you one.
Yeah. We invite that.
First and foremost, if you want one, we can give you invites. That's not a problem. But second,
win it some more. Bomber says, "I'm happy our theories with the alternate invite method were right, though." That was my theory. My theory was either winning at Shambhala, or potentially my other theory was like the PvP fight clubs, like the regular ones. I felt like, based on the way the invite was set up, he's been observing you, right? He's watching you win some kind of fight, so... Some kind of PvP fight. Yeah, so it just seemed to... That seemed to make sense. But, and he said this was intentional, the delay of your invite, like, so when you invite someone, they don't get the invite right away. Some few minutes later, they get it. That was intentional. The delay is not always the same, and it helps obfuscate where it came from. So let's say you won Shambhala, right? Well, even if you randomly get the invite, you don't get it right away. You might have gone on to do something else, and then you get the, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it intentionally made it harder to discover where the invite was coming from. Because you don't know what you did, because it didn't happen right away. Sneaky. Nervel.
Right, you could be
sneaky,
like, I just killed a ghoul in Scorched Desert. What?
You win some ball, you do something else, and you're like, oh man, I rubbed this graffiti in this graffiti in South Africa, and all of a sudden I got an invite. What happened?
And all of a sudden the invite showed up. Yeah.
And now there's tons of people cleaning graffiti in South Africa for no reason.
He went on to say, we didn't mention this, that with Krampusnacht 2009...
You cut out.
Dang it. I don't know what this is.
Everyone take another shot.
Later. Take another shot.
I don't know about you guys.
I just have Coke, I think.
I figured I would celebrate the update.
Yeah. I should get some eggnog. I got some eggnog back there. That's a good thing to celebrate with. That on the logins that you can get for the winter event. Let me bring this up real quick.
Yes. And Ember can bring it up on the stream, I think. So you'll actually
have it up. Yeah.
Well, you can click through it. You can click the little arrows to make it show. Even once you claimed it, you can.
Yeah, the first day is the Figuros Peduri, the pet, the nice little tree with decorated. I mean, we mostly already have that.
Yeah, I already got it.
Day 5 is the Orochi Hovertech snowboard. And then the rest is... Well, they're stabilizing tachyons throughout, which is basically the way to pump Dark Agartha.
Day 10 is a weapon fusion catalyst.
Yes, day 10 is a weapon fusion catalyst, so that's nice. And then day 15 is the big reward for the event, the Resplendent Talisman Imbuer, where you can improve any epic or above Radiant Talisman to Resplendent to now 4 pip, and we all get one for just logging there in the 15th day. And since the event is going on until January 2nd, plenty of time to get that.
Yeah, and the other thing that's really good is, shouldn't make light of this, you can get 3 stabilizing tachyons. Now, stabilizing tachyons means that you can do Dark Agartha without having to spend AP and SP.
Right, yeah, it's basically a free Dark Agartha.
It's a free run. And considering the massive updates to Dark Agartha, and the fact that Dark Agartha is where you get the fragments to make more 4-pip imbuers, those are really, really good.
It's kind of it's kind of their way of basically pushing this update, saying that, hey, this is basically a Dark Agartha update. I mean, it's the winter event, but it's mainly Dark Agartha. So while you're beating up on Hell, why not go run Dark Agartha a whole bunch as well?
What was the update to regular Agartha? The winter event got turned on. That was the update to regular Agartha message.
The winter event got turned on. 4-pip talismans.
So the bounty champions, the ones in the open world are back. And those all scale, by the way. They scale appropriately to whatever you are. So, like, I didn't know what E-level I was, by the way. I've been max IP for a long time, but I didn't know what E-level that was, because we always just had E10. Turns out, I'm E16.
E16, okay.
Yes. So today I did my very first E16 Dark Agartha with the challenge modifier. So that's something they added. Ember, have you seen the vendor? We could show that on the stream.
I'm in the middle of a snowball fight.
You're in a snowball fight.
Important matters here.
Did you get a dragon yet?
Have not.
Really? How is that possible?
Because they're few and far between.
That's not true.
Yeah, there's no dragon in myth.
I prefer the term legend. Thank you.
They are Templar.
Ah, you mean the red shirts? I can throw snowball at you because I have the snowball item.
So yes, if you go to the what is this called? I guess the board, the yellow board in Agartha. They're around everywhere. Andy once deleted one just for the fun of it.
Paragon activities.
You can pick up the Bounty Winter Holidays champions. So elusive new champions have been spotted in the world. A bounty is placed by your faction handler to hunt down and eliminate a number of them.
Now, worth pointing out, the first time you do it, you do get a blue Signet of Light and a blue Signet of Thirst. Do you know that, Mikey?
I see that now. Yes, as well as two repped presents.
Yeah, so it's like even if you did this last year, it's something that resets. So every year, the first time you do it, you get 2 blue signets. Now these guys, there's one in every zone, and you have to go find them. If you go to TSWDB, Walmer has amazing guides for the whole thing. But
TSWDB.
So yeah, they're super fun. They scale to your IP, no matter what your IP is now. They scale higher. Like everything else they got adjusted scaling, they actually scale as well. Be careful about that, by the way. So 2 things can happen. You can be searching for the guy, and someone lower than you spawn him, and then you'll lose 1 shot for the guy, right?
Right.
Or let's say you. So the one that's a problem is the Revenant in Kingsmith likes to put up the misdirect, like a reflex shield, and people will.
Oh yes. Okay. Now I remember that one. Yes. Okay.
So what happened is someone that's really high geared would go do the summoning, and like they get reflex kill, and someone else comes on slow geared and just gets massacred by this high spawn Revenant. So yeah, just know that it's scaled to the person that summoned it. It's like started the fight. So that's a thing. But they're really cool. And that actually leads into, when you complete it, that leads into the Fog and Mirrors investigation mission, which is a seasonal investigation mission. It's really fun. It's really cool. And, spoilers, maybe check out some of the computers in Fog and Mirrors and look for mention of, like, a bunny of some kind.
Dun, dun, dun.
Like baby named Jimmy or something.
Or something. We don't know.
No, I know.
Or we do. Yeah, we know.
So yeah, so that's active. Those are really cool, and honestly, it's just for the Cruel Delight, blue Cruel Delight. That's an amazing. Like, do that. Get those. Especially if you're trying to do Dark Agartha, Cruel Delight's an amazing signet to have because it helps you heal yourself. When you critically hit, it procs a heal on that.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's real. Since you're out of your snowball fight, Ember, you want to follow me to the Dark Agartha branch? The other way, Ember.
This way.
The White Rabbit. Yeah, I don't know where you were going. So have you been here? Do you know to jump?
That's all I do.
But are you gonna hit the platform is the question.
Perfect. Square
Yes.
on the...
So this is the Dark Agartha portal. And this is the new vendor that got added. The Shady Salesman. He does look pretty shady.
I mean, is it the eye patch? Is that what makes him shady? I mean,
And
the
to be-
blood
I'm
across
He's
the
wearing a
chest.
bloodied
maybe.
shirt. He's got bloodied
Yeah.
pants. Like, it's a mess.
His
So-
foot is halfway buried into the branch.
Yeah, it's very
So
shady.
this is where you can buy the challenge of the day. The challenge of the day changes, like it rotates. So today is weakened anima. Your damage is decreased by 30%. Now when you run, so you get this, you put this on, and that buff lasts for the entire time until the next reset. So basically, you can get it and try, all day if you really want it. So there's a bunch of other challenges that from Test Lab I know what some of them are. There's things like having the timer shortened by a few minutes. There's one called Thin Atmosphere where you can't sprint and you take damage every 3 seconds, like a small amount of damage.
That's a little rough.
I understand. I didn't personally get to try that one. Someone else did, but they said the damage tick wasn't actually that bad.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's been adjusted though since it went live, so who knows. So this one was you deal 30% less damage, right? There's another challenge type where bosses deal 30% more damage. Let's see, 2 fewer lives, 1 additional effect. I imagine that'll be interesting, just having an additional module effect on top of the other ones. Meteor challenge. So every so often, meteors just strike the platform near you, and you have to avoid them. And there may be more. I don't know. That's just some of the ones we knew about from testing. And they certainly could have changed as it went live as well. The other thing that interesting he sells, if for whatever reason the challenge is too much for you and you want to just be able to do it normally, you can buy the abort challenge timeline from him once you've purchased a challenge. So if you purchase a challenge, you activate it, and like for whatever reason that day it's not happening, and you just like, I just want to do regular Dark Agartha, please. You can actually choose to abort the challenge.
There's no penalties.
So Essex says, what do these challenges get you? So we covered this a little bit earlier in the stream, but if you do Dark Agartha with the challenge, can you bring up the picture again, Ember, with the chest? The loot box at the end has additional items.
And these items range from new emotes, a new emote, a new outfit,
and a new sprint. So there's a new sprint called the Gatekeeper's Touch. There's a new emote called Evil Laugh, and there's a faction colored spacesuit. That is the Moons of Madness cracked space helmet suit. It's I put the picture in Discord, Ember. If you, it's like the second one or something. But yeah, you can definitely show the outfit for sure. Now, ideally, you want to run the highest difficulty you can with the challenge, because the higher difficulty you run with the challenge, the better the chance for it to drop one of those items when you open it. It's not guaranteed. For example, I did E16 with a challenge today and did not get any one of those things. So they're by no means guaranteed, but your chances are better the higher you can go while also shouldering a challenge. That's almost in the same line as the dungeon stuff, right? They're trying to incentivize you actually caring and running higher stuff, right? There's a reason to get there. Whether it be that you want the sprint or you want the Moon's outfit or something. Although my understanding is the Moon's outfit will be tradable, so maybe I'm sure people will eventually start selling those once they drop enough.
So once they drop and they don't already have it, yeah. Yeah.
Well, and again, Dark Agartha, you can only run once a day per character, right? So it's going to take a little while, I think. It's not like dungeons where you can just run like nonstop at them. I mean, I have multiple characters, so I'll be running a fair bit of Dark Agartha. Like 8 or 9 characters worth, probably.
Your usual daily routine.
Not to get back into the swing of it, but I'll be grinding pretty hard. But that's not terribly normal. I feel like it'll be a little bit before we start to see a glut of tradables, but it'll happen for sure.
Now, also inside Dark Agartha, there is a vendor where you could pick up lucky dice. Correct?
Yeah,
inside
inside. So, Ember, if you look at the Shady Salesman again, there's 2 things you can do. On the Shady Salesman, he also has directions to an alternate history, right? So for 75k Moth, you can convert 100 of one type of fragment to the other. So what Dark Agartha does now when you beat it is it drops you a split of talisman and glyph fragments normally. Like that's the standard setup. You'll get some talisman fragments and some glyph fragments. Now, if you've got 100 of them already and are like, hey, I have all the glyph stuff I need, I just need talisman fragments, you can buy this alternate history item and it'll flip them one way or the other. You also, for 500 Aurum, can flip an entire imbuer. Say you had an extra elaborate glyph imbuer in your inventory for whatever reason that you don't need. You don't need glyphs.
Hanging out.
I mean,
right.
I used to make them and sell them. I've probably sold like a dozen elaborate glyph imbuers. I don't have one left, but if I did, I certainly would do this in a heartbeat, you know? Be like, boop, there, now I have a 4-gift talisman. So you have those, and those work both ways. If you, for whatever reason, you wanted to flip it the other way, he sells both imbuers. And then we can't go in with you, Ember, but if you want to show on stream, you can enter Dark Agartha. It doesn't actually cost you anything until you activate.
Okay.
So you can go in and go to your left and click on the vendor and show what's in there.
I need a mission.
Oh, you actually have to pick up the mission.
Okay.
I mean, you can do that if you want. It doesn't hurt anything. Do you know where to get it?
That's the sign there at the front.
Yeah, the board. So you'll go to the board and it's going to send you to the hexagon vendor. Yeah, Chicken Studio is right. It means you get a free run. So the very first time you do Dark Agartha, it doesn't actually cost you any AP or SP.
That's the step in time?
Yeah, step in time. Correct. And then you have to run into the center and go find the hexagon vendor guy. And it should ask you to like pick up a little box or something. I think it's over here. Then it tells you like this little hint about looking beneath the gatekeeper, which is where we just were. So it doesn't actually tell you like where to go. It's a little bit obscure on purpose. You have to come over here and be like, where is Dark Agartha?
Underneath the gatekeeper.
Jump.
Leap of faith.
Do you guys remember like when they were running the counter to see how many people were missing the platform?
Oh yeah.
And then I just kept jumping off, missing on purpose over and over again, and we racked that number up really high. That was pretty fun. The entire
there goes Chicken Stew.
The entire stream, I was just jumping and missing. So yeah, it doesn't matter what E level you go in as,
50, yeah.
unless you actually want to do it. But
I won't survive.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
E1's not terribly difficult, but
yeah.
I don't know what your build is like, what your setup.
Garbage.
But all you need to do is once you go in, you go to your left, and there'll be like a custodian that's kind of like jacked up. That is the vendor.
Interoperable custodian of Curios.
Yeah. So if you go to that guy, you'll see he's got a bunch of stuff to interact with him.
Yep. Yeah, I see the lucky dice too.
Yeah.
Yes, and one of them is Lucky Dice, and that's basically a what does it cost? What do the Lucky Dice cost?
7,500. Moths.
Yeah. So,
okay.
And then he also has faded mercurial glyph, which I think is the opposite. So you can buy an item that guarantees you that all your fragments are of one type.
So if you already have all of one type or all the other type, that you can just
buy that and go
focus
like
on one.
Yeah, you buy that, you use it, and it puts a little buff down on your screen, and that buff is used up when you loot the chest. You also don't have to use it right away. You just have to use it. You have to use it before you open the chest at the end.
But it's an item that you can you can hold on to, right? It's not like a once in use thing.
Right. And until it's absorbed, until you click it. When you click it, it becomes a buff. I don't know if that buff will expire or not. I don't remember if. Well, there's no reason to really use it until you're about to open a chest, anyways. So you could go I believe anyway. My understanding, anyway, is that you could go the whole dungeon, the whole Dark Agartha, and get to the end, beat the gatekeeper. As long as you use that and have that buff on you before you open the chest, that's what affects your loot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you don't have to beat all the enemies with that on you. I guess is what I'm saying. You just have to.
Right. You just need to just pick it up at the end.
And there's other things on there as well. You can also purchase the Directions to Alternate History inside, as well as from the shady guy outside. And the other things you can get are little helper items, like gravity-resistant spores. Means that if you fall off, it doesn't take away one of your lives. Normally, falling off the platform is you die. But if you buy the resistant spores, gravity-resistant spores, and use them, then you just kind of pop back up on top and you don't lose a life. This is one of the cheaper ones to get, and it's a pretty good insurance, especially because it depends on the platform. Some of the platforms are like shattered and broken intentionally, and you can actually slip between cracks. Like, it's not a bad one to purchase as like a safety net, especially when you're first getting used to it. The Lux on Rich Spray gives you like an extra 5 minutes to your timer, so it gives you longer. Crystalline Anima Shard gives you 2 extra life. If you want to spend the 750 Moth Ember, you can show the Mushroom Coated Hagstone. That one's interesting because when you use that one, it's before you start the run. You can, if you buy it and use it, all the lures show up on the ground in front of you, and then you can see what the modules are going to be for the bosses you're going to fight ahead of time.
Yeah,
so if you look on the ground, yeah, so that's them in order from left to right, and if you go interact with them, you can plan ahead. So if you go look at the first one, then you'll see the enemy. So the first one is the Djinn. The Tight Quarters is a small platform, and the module he has is Wounding. Wounding is actually a new module added with this patch. It didn't exist before.
Ooh, okay.
Where attacks can apply bleeding and rend open wound to a high damage. That's one of the newer. Now, I think you went in at E1, right?
Yeah.
So the higher E level you go, the more modules they have on them at once. So like, and then also this is the first boss, right? So second, third, and fourth boss, they have more modules. So if you go look at the second, you should see a boss probably with 2 modules, I imagine. Oh no, it's still 1 for E1. So that one's the platform's gravity's mark. So that platform lights on fire. It's a ring that lights on fire, and the fire kind of chases you around. So that one is a ghoul that has 2 modules, and it has debris, which is these big circles that show up on the platform that with crashing stuff that hurt. Shattered twig. People fall off that one. It's got 2 modules. And then you have your final module. So the bosses rotate every day, and the modules rotate, and the platforms rotate around. The end's always the gatekeeper, but his abilities can swap around. So just for reference,
if you hit the wrong abilities, he can be a tricky fight.
Yeah, I think. Let me double check. I have some footage. I want to go look and see. I can tell you exactly how many. So on On E17, like normal, he has 5 modifiers when you go to fight him. Instead of 1, he's got 5 different all at the same time. So all those things will do, each one doing different nasty things to you. And then did I look? I'm rewinding through one of my test videos to see if I looked at the. Yeah, see, even in my tests in E17, like the boss 3 had 5 different capabilities. So you figure the capabilities are all different effects that are not nice to you. And then on top of that, the platform itself always has an effect that's not particularly nice to you. So, and then if you decide to run a challenge mode on top of that, right? You're just compounding. But it's
you're
a really
just asking
fun
for a world of hurt, basically.
Yeah, you're literally just asking. You're like, hey, beat me up some, please.
That's right.
But it's really fun. It's really fun. It's fun, especially like with that hagstone. You, like I said, you can plan ahead. Like, especially when you get to the higher tiers, there'll be like certain bosses have stuff where you like need a cleanse, or maybe you need 2 cleanses, or maybe you need an impair. You don't know until you know that day what the effects are, and you can always look at the lore before you. It's always on the ground before you start the fight with the boss. But when you're in there, the timer's running. So the benefit of the hackstone is, before the run has started, before your clock has started, you can look ahead, see what all the different things are, and sort of plan what your build needs to be, what gadgets you might need to swap out, etc. I use these a lot when I was trying to do my E5 0 IP Dark Agartha. Every day I would load in and look at these and be like, nope, that's not going to work today.
This isn't happening today.
That combination is not going to work. So, like, I would literally just go in every day and hope for like the best combination of stuff I could get to make it remotely possible to do. So, I mean, I think it's actually the cheapest. If you look at the benefit stuff you can buy, I think the Hagstone is actually the cheapest. But so yeah, you can. So I really like how they put in all the different ways to like sort of adjust your fragments or convert them afterwards, or even convert imbuers. It was really cool. I feel like that part was pretty well thought through.
Giving people, a lot of options.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I've heard, like, some people... Or I saw something... Someone pointed me at the forum, and that was a bad idea. I shouldn't have went there. But,
you should know better.
I shouldn't have looked what was in the box. That was my bad. Complaining, like, oh, I've got to pay all this before I can even run Dark Agartha. Like, no! You can run Dark Agartha straight up like normal. If you run it like normal, you're not going to get the cosmetics, but you're going to get your fragments, and they're going to be split. And if you don't need one or the other, I'm sure you can sell them. There's been a very nice elaborate glyph fragment economy for quite a while. I'm sure you'll have no problem getting rid of them. There is a slight problem currently with the auction house not actually letting you search or buy the talisman fragments people list, but I'm sure that will be addressed.
I'm sure that'll be fixed, yeah. Probably
I would
as fast as they can.
I would expect to see an update for that. Because I imagine that's going to take an update. I don't think that's going to be a live fix. I'd be very surprised. I imagine we'll have a downtime for a hotfix for that at some point. I would think. That would be my guess, anyways. Because it's
relatively
a small
important,
thing, but a big thing at the same time. Like, I feel like it's probably not that big of a deal to fix. It was just overlooked for the most part. But I assume they need to bring the thing down to patch. But other than that, it feels like everything else seemed to go over pretty well as far as stuff going live today.
I think so. I haven't seen any shenanigans.
Yeah, nothing on Twitter or anything like that. Where it's, oh, it's broken. What are you doing?
It's the end of the world.
Yeah, there's been some salt, which luckily we have now a new salt emote to deal with. Like we can just, oh, you're being salty? Here, let me
add to a little.
Let me give you some salt. Which I just find hilarious. But yeah, so there's definitely been some. There's always gonna be some people that are pissed.
There's always.
But personally, I'm super happy with for Pip. I'm happy with stuff scaling higher, just in general. The agents are super cool, and the agents don't cost that much.
No, I saw they only cost, 8 hex coins each?
8 hex coins. Yeah, 8 hex coins is for...
That's almost nothing. That's like the cheapest thing on that.
And there's only 4. And you... It's random which one you get, but once you get one, like, you can't get it again. You'll get a different one, right? So for, 32 hex coins, you'll get all 4 agents and Bessie the Mop.
And the Mop, yes.
Bessie the Mop is a piece of agent equipment. That's awesome. Technically, I have 2. Haven't claimed it yet. I can't.
So we have had Chicken Stew, who's been kind of around us all night long. One of his agents is one of those agents. Walter Malone is Chicken Stew's agent. Yeah.
And something I think I circled in the screenshots in our notes I thought was cool is when you get the agent dossier, it actually says, agent writing contest, like runner-up or winner, character created by the person's name, like on the dossier. I thought that was really nice. That was super cool. And then they weren't sure it was going to happen today, but they did give out the participation agent as well. So, the duo, which is the Andy Nicole agent, is so awesome. Right. It's just like the text on it is so great. Like it's so. It even mentions, by the way, in the text, it mentions. Where did it say it? Incident involving microwaving sardines.
The incident.
One subject had a brush with excommunication/resurrection following an incident involving microwaving sardines. Other subject has an affinity towards owls. Use these as leverage.
Then their faces on the picture card.
But yeah, both of their faces together.
Like, and, it's so great.
What are their traits? Omnipresence and garbage disposal?
Yes.
Okay, alright.
They get rid of threats to the council or its allies. They vanish. I like that the details: gender not applicable, profession public relations, species possibly human, age how rude. It's awesome. And so the duo is obviously a custom picture. The runner-ups have like the sort of I forget what it's called now, but like the paper doll sort of setup, right? And then the cleaner actually is a custom piece of art.
It's a custom piece of art. It's a nice piece of art too.
Yeah, it's really cool looking. And then I just like that Bessie the Mop is
well, if you make a character and you say it comes with an item, you might as well make the item too.
It's great. Yeah, so before, like, when I first logged in, like, one of the first things I went and did is I went to go look at the routing agents, and I was like, oh, 8 hex coins, hell yeah, and I got all of them, right? And there was some confusion, because I guess they had said when you participate, the reward is going to be the Andy Nicole agent. But they had written in the post that the participants would get, like, all the agents that were made.
Okay.
So some people were like, wait, what? I thought we got all of them. So they did that. Because that was what was written. But I had already bought them all. So I didn't have the Andy Nicole agent already, but, like, literally within 5 minutes of being in the game today, as soon as it came up from being down, I went and bought all the agents. So when they awarded them to everyone, because I participated in the contest as well, by delivered items, I had all the agents in Bessie. Well, I was able to get all the agents and just sell the duplicates back to the hex coin vendor for 4 hex coins instead of 8, but, like, whatever, it's not. But I can't claim Bessie the Mop because it's a unique item that won't let me claim it.
Oh no.
So, like, I think I can claim it on an alt, so I might actually end up with 2 characters with the Bessie the Mop.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny.
All the moves.
Yeah. So, which will be weird though, because if I do that, I'll have 1 character that has the mop, but not the cleaner.
Right, it'll be someone else.
I'll just have the mop. It's kind of bizarre, but yeah, it's fine. It's whatever.
I'll say, but the personalized image for the cleaner, he has him. You know, it's basically like his description. He's a grizzled older gentleman, but he's wearing a mask over his face, and it just has a big filth stain right across it. It's very, very cool.
Jason says the cleaner forgot what was small for the job site. It's Bessie's doppelganger. Trying to think if I think we've covered most of the stuff. There's. Oh, you know what? So we talked about the weapon, the blue weapons that had passives, right? A little bit, I think, earlier in the stream.
Right. Yes.
The third age weapons all seem to have the same effect, which is whenever you hit, you have a 33% chance to deal a scaled amount of physical damage. And when this damage critically hits, you hit again for the same. So
which is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, so you have a 33% chance to deal this X amount of damage, and if that damage crits, it doubles it. It not only does it crit and deal the crit version of its damage, but then it hits again. But I believe that's the same effect for all the third age ones, whereas the blue ones all have passives related to the weapon. But there are also 3 talismans. And they're particularly interesting because they all summon things. So there is a ring.
Kinda like that.
That when you purge a beneficial effect from an enemy or interrupt an enemy's ability, you summon a custodian to attack the target.
That's fun.
For X amount of damage, this effect has a 20-second cooldown. So max every 20 seconds, if you purge or interrupt an enemy, a custodian's going to pop out and go smack them, right? That's the ring.
That's amazing.
There's a luck talisman that says, whenever you critically hit, you have a 30% chance to summon the gatekeeper to attack the target for X damage. This effect is 20-second cooldown. So far, custodian and gatekeeper, right? There's also a head talisman. When you hit the same enemy 3 times in a row, fate is summoned and attacks the target.
Wait, what?
Fate. You know the blue sort of gatekeeper looking thing?
Oh, Fate? That one. Okay, alright, yes, yeah.
That effect has a 20-second cooldown. Now, I already had a Beastmaster build. Literally a build that saved a blue build. It's called Beastmaster. that involve like the neck piece that spawns Ghost and the Shadowbound blade and the Chaos Doppelganger and the Museum Gadget.
It's about as close to a pet class as we have, really, yeah.
And now I get to add 3 more items that give me 3 more things that can pop. A little bit beside myself, and I really want to try and get everything to proc at like roughly the same time.
Right, like in one fight, just get everything just up.
Get like a Ghost, a Revenant, your mini-me, right? Plus Chaos Doppelgangers, plus a Custodian, a Gatekeeper, and a Fate.
Attack my minions.
I think that'll be pretty neat looking if I could somehow trigger enough of it at once. Like, and I already have 2 of them. I'm only missing the ring. I actually managed to open a Radiant headpiece today, so I have the one that spawns Fate, and I have a 2-pip version of the Gatekeeper one. So I'm just missing the ring that summons like a.
Always fun.
Kalani says if anyone will try it would be you. Yeah, Chicken Stew. I opened a Radiant Ashes of Fate's Chosen. That it was, it drops as a. And also, by the way, it drops as a purple, so it was already epic. 3-pip version.
Epic Radiant. Yeah.
And I had opened so many caches that you get distillates from doing that, right? So like my headpiece is already Mythic 9. my headpiece is already Mythic 9. It started out as purple level 0, it's now yellow 9. Just from today. Chick says my theory was correct that 3-pip. Yeah, the 3-pip is purple. When you open the 3-pip, it's purple. Or at least mine was. I guess I haven't opened enough to guarantee all of them are purple. But also the current, in case anyone's curious, the current numbers theory is that headpiece is the new best in slot. Someone's Fate is actually the new best in slot for any DPS. Not sure about the other ones, whether they're best in slot or not. I don't care, I want them, because I want to spawn things. I remember playing a druid in Diablo 2.
So I'm trying to see if you had that one already down on your dock.
No, because I got it today. Okay, so I think actually I can link it in.
You do that show off thing where you link it in general.
I'm doing link it in group chat to not be an asshole. So yeah, I think Ember, if you click on that, it should come up and you can see.
Yeah. Got it up on there. Oh, hang on.
Whenever you hit the same enemy 3 times in succession. Which is pretty much, like...
Now, does it show your damage or my damage when you look at it? What does your damage number say?
My damage number is...
Attack the target for what amount of damage? I don't have this string.
Yeah, it's not...
Does it show a number?
Attack rating 1684.
No. Okay, so it does. So I'm looking at the item like you pulled up. So it says attack the target for 4,263 damage. So when you click the link, it's showing it scaled to what the damage would be for you. For me, it says whenever I hit the same enemy 3 times, summon Fate to attack the target for 12,532 damage.
That makes sense. Okay.
So that is a scaling number based on your
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So every 3 times I smack someone, that will pop, or it will pop unless it's already on cooldown. It does have a 20-second cooldown in between the. So essentially you figure 12 for me at the max IP before the 4-pip talisman. That's 12,500 damage every 20 seconds. I feel like that's pretty
passive. Yeah.
Yeah, it just happens. I feel like that's probably why it's considered new best in slot.
The new meta.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know if Mall has checked out the other ones, the ring or the luck piece, to see how much they'll matter. I think they're still going to be pretty good. I think the luck piece is basically the same effect, just a gatekeeper instead of fate. I think if you have a radiant piece down there, it's the same amount of damage. Now, generally that's where you run cold silver dice that gives you 1 extra energy. I'm not sure. Does it seem to scale? Say. So I only have a 2-pip of the luck one right now. But for me right now, the 2-pip version says 11,979. So I imagine if it's 3-pip, like the headpiece, it'll probably say the same number. So I think the pips usually affect stuff too.
It does, yeah.
If not, it's going to be really close. If that number doesn't change, like if I were to make a 3-pip and that number doesn't go up, then it's still only like 600 damage less than the headpiece, and it's a minor. I feel like it's probably going to be good. You're the person with 100 after the die. Ah, interesting. And the other one, the other meta for the ring is the 25% chance to deal like 920. And I think the one with the custodian is much more damage. Now, granted, it's only every 20 seconds versus every time, but I have a sneaking suspicion, like possibly all of these talismans, all 3 of these will be like new meta. For sure, the headpiece.
Makes sense.
But I think these 3rd-age talismans, if you will, that let you summon frickin' Agartha are to fight for you.
Yeah, they feel like they should be.
Right? Like you feel like they should. They really should be. They should be. I'm not mad at them being good. I still don't like. I don't know that they're. I don't think it's going to be anything like the TSW issue where like they're crazy overpowered. I think that 20-second window where they can't happen is probably going to be enough to prevent them from being completely ridiculous. If for no other reason than like in a burst fight, you're going to get them to proc like once, maybe twice. Like if you're doing burst, if you're a dungeon group doing burst, you'll burst down like a dungeon boss in like 30 seconds or something. Like that's a thing that happens, and the thing is when you deal with that on a regular basis, you have to build your builder. Because if you ramp up too slowly, you're not actually contributing to the fight. Like the fight's over already before you reached dealing. So you actually have to adjust your build and abilities and stuff to for that type of play style, if that's the kind of group you're running with. If that makes sense.
Yeah. If you're going with a quick group, then yeah, you don't want to be going from 0 to 60 and everyone else is already at 80.
Yeah, but it's like certain builds or playstyles, like your channeled attacks, like they take so long to cast, like by the time it's done, the guy's dead. Chickasu says, question, if you proc it on Machine Tyrant and the shield goes up before the summoned creature gets the hit. Like, I don't know. That's worth checking. I can't recall if the Revenant, when it hits, if it reflects back at you. I don't remember. I don't think so. I think it's its own entity. I don't know if it reflects back at you or not. I can't recall.
I feel like the new, or not the new, but I feel like the Revenant in Kingsmith is an easy way to test that.
Right? Yeah, no, true.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't put this on because, my current headpiece is Legendary 70 and this thing's still in Mythic 9. But maybe I should throw it on just to mess around. See what
just to have fun with it, yeah.
Yeah, just to
how much will bring you down anyway? Bring down, that'll be E14 instead of...
Well, I'd have to pull out the Glyph and Signet for one. So if I pull out the Glyph and Signet, that's going to cost me 40k Moth just to pull them out. To put in the other headpiece. But if I just straight up swapped it over right now, I drop to 1528 instead of 1671. It's a pretty sizable drop. So what is that, like 140 IP drop?
That's pretty significant. Yeah. I mean, that'd be like...
It would go up a little bit if I bothered to rip out the Glyph and the Signet and put it in there.
That would be like it'd be like 25% of my IP total. So yeah, that's
yeah, exactly.
That's like dropping a whole.
It's like dropping a whole new player. Yeah. It's true, because even a whole new player, when you get to level 50, it's like, that's like what, 100 item power?
Yeah. It's literally just kick the player in the space.
It's a player and a half, yeah.
Well, on the plus side, I have something to level now. Which is one of those problems for, end players, is you start running out of stuff to even throw your distal attack.
Right.
I mean, legitimately, I think I already had 2 Legendary 70 headpieces and was already starting to work on a third before this one. And that is literally, and not because I particularly needed them. I know about edge case builds, so I know about edge case builds, so I know that I could make use of it. You know what I mean? I don't need it. But I know, about certain tanking builds or something where, this one headpiece will help. So it didn't feel like throwing stuff away to upgrade it. Oh, I'm sorry. I have one in my bank, too. So, I have 3 Legendary 70 headpieces.
Jimmy!
And I was working on a 4th. And not because I'm grinding hard, I needed something to dump the damn distillates.
You need something to put it into, yeah.
Yeah, if I do content with people and I loot a box, or even if you're just grinding for, occult defense, right, for glyph distillates or something, because you maybe still need them, you get talisman distillates. You open a cache every day, you get talisman distillates. You gotta do something with them. The problem for me is, at the 35 slots I'm at, I'm accruing more and more inventory pieces. Oh my god, I just realized something. I had 2 talisman imbuers in my bank.
Yep.
You know what that means? My 2-pip Gatekeeper talisman just became...
is now 3-pip.
And, that's right. More importantly, guess who has 1 more inventory slot? Because, it consumed the imbuer.
Which might be the more important thing.
For me, yes, 100%. 100% that was the more important thing out of all of it.
Jimmy get more inventory spaces? No.
I just saved. I just saved it. Mouth. I don't need to. Thanks, Ember.
Yeah. I got your back.
I actually have quite a few of the Talisman Animal Imbuers in my bank as well.
Bomber says he refuses inventory as strongly as I cry for. Yeah, we're like Bomber and I are like opposite ends of the spectrum. What's funny is like it's not that I don't have ridiculous stuff because I do. Like I have the level 1 green Shadowbound weapons, all of them in my bank. I have the dancing shoes in my bank. I have the Uda SD card in my bank. I have the Lorenzo Fabricator that for some reason was dropping in Gaiden in my bank that doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything. It's just fun to have.
Yeah, it's such a TSW relic, you know, that wasn't supposed to be happening. I couldn't get rid of it. I think from my 0 IP runs, I have a couple of green items in my bank I probably could actually get rid of.
I apparently have an extra Crown of Hell.
Nice. I think I have some of those in Icy Claws because some people never got back to me though.
Oh yeah.
His agents are.
And then I have a stack of every cache.
Yeah. So I only have base inventory, but I do have multiple characters. So some of those are hoarding other things, but all of them also only have base inventory. I have never bought inventory on any character, but I have bought more characters, but always for a reason. I think.
But that's why they also gave you the shirt, right?
Yes.
The Tetris Champion shirt.
Yeah, that was FunCon. Like, what was that? It was through FunCon, but it was from Kalani, I think, or something. Yeah, that inventory just spread out, mine's consolidated. I mean, I guess I could lose a lot of it. I wouldn't be mad. That's the thing. Anything I need is here. If the other characters went away tomorrow, I wouldn't be mad about it. The same with all the stuff that's shoved inside the agents that you can't do anymore. It's all stuff that I don't mind if it gets deleted. I wouldn't have put it there if I was worried about keeping it. So by the way, I don't know if I told you guys, I did a tally.
No.
I had my agents are smuggling over 1,000 Krampus rockets.
Oh no.
That's so many agents have 100 Krampus rockets.
I'm just picturing the interview process now that you have for these agents. You're sitting at a desk, and the agent comes in, and you're like, "All right, first question. How do you feel about Krampus rockets?" And they'll be like,
"Exactly how many Krampus rockets came to Keister?"
They're like, "I thought I'd be going on missions." No. Do you enjoy Krampus rockets?
But you're going to be carrying some Krampus rockets. Oliver says his agents are smuggling rainbows, and I do have rainbows. I have some random stuff because, like, again, not stuff I'd be mad about going missing, but like at the time, you know, I don't know, it was rainbows, bubbles. I think bubbles got given out or like spawned on people during one of the events. So I know I have rainbows. I have bubbles. Glamours. I think one agent or two has like some stack of like mummy glamours or vampire glamours or something. But predominantly, it's Krampus rockets. It's over 1,000 Krampus rockets. Because, you know, why not? Which means I started off with way more than 1,000. Because I've probably burned through 1,000.
Right, yeah. Just using them off season or just using them whenever.
Yeah. Yeah, I've probably burned through easily 1,000 because they go in stacks of 100, and I know I've gone through plenty of stacks trying to do weird stuff. Wait, Bomber has a rocket launcher in one of his agents? Yeah, you can't even do that anymore. Not only can you not shove it into an agent, but I don't think you can. I think they finally fixed that, so you can't pull it out of the instance anymore. So I think I tried that too, just to see. So you think I'm bad? I just put rockets up there. Bomber has them keystring an entire damn rocket launcher.
That's right. How do you feel about rocket launchers? I thought you'd be sending me to like Venice. No. Krampus rockets, rocket launchers. How do you feel about that?
It's funny that they still go on missions. They just go on missions.
Right. When did you go do this? But I'm carrying some. Yes, that's fine. Let's go on the mission.
Sure you
now, how do you get the items on there again? Or should we say that?
Well, it's not possible anymore.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Anymore. But you used to be able to. I think we found out on accident. Actually, you could.
In their gear slot, right?
Well, it was something because you know how items trade places if you drop them on something.
Yeah.
So you couldn't drag normal items into the agent inventory. But if you were just happened to drag an agent item out onto your normal inventory and let go of it on top of something, they would switch places. So then your regular item would end up in the agent inventory. Even though you can't manually drag it there yourself, it would flip. Like it would trade spots.
Oh yeah.
Because the agent item was the thing that initiated the trade. So you're doing a legit thing. You're taking an agent item out of the agent inventory, but when you drop it in your inventory, you drop it in an occupied slot, and the game goes, "Oh, we're just going to trade spot," and so it would put a regular item into your agent inventory. And from there, the same thing would happen with the agent inventory. If you put an agent item, piece of equipment in there, and then dragged it onto the regular item that was in the agent inventory, it would upload it into the agent. It would flip the space.
So how is this item helping me? Like, can I get like a lexicon or a crystal ball or?
The thing is,
nope, here's 100 Krampus rockets.
It took a fair while before they, I think, bothered to fix it. It's fixed now. Jason said just got a radiant head and it's still blue, so grass on your epic luck. So not only was I lucky to get a radiant, I was lucky to get a purple radiant. Double lucky. Apparently you can drop in blue as well.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense.
So yeah, it's not something you can do anymore, and actually getting them back out is a little bit tricky because they did close like the holes in the system.
They might not make it back out. You might.
No, I figured out how to make them come out, but it's really convoluted, and it means you have to move stuff around in such a way that like the game has like no choice but to like eject the items out into your inventory. They can be green even? Wow. That's bizarre. I would not expect them to be green. Oh, you got a hollow tree? I want a hollow tree.
The hollow tree is on the AH.
Is it?
That's what he's saying. What do you mean? I mean, purple is nice; it saves you a bit of time, but it's the pip that really.
No, I want this. I can buy this. I'm gonna be like dirt poor broke after I get this. but I can buy this. I do think 100K for it is a little bit overpriced for a green Luminance. Oh, I'm so tempted to just buy it anyways, though. Ah, damn it.
Do it.
Resist. Resist.
So I only
Sleep
have
on it.
100.
Come
I only
back
have
in the morning.
111K off. So I buy it, I'm down to 13K off. Pretty dirt poor. That's like one day of challenges.
Well, you still have.
Well, you need the
13.
2 million in order to get the peculiar box, so you know.
Yeah. I feel like I'm probably gonna open more caches though. Like I'll get a key tomorrow. It might be even something where I actually feel like it's worth it to buy some more keys just to open stuff. In which case, I don't know. I feel like that price is not gonna stay.
No.
Not for a green. It's a day one price for sure. And I'm sorely tempted to pay it anyways. But it might leave it alone for now.
You're like, I reward you.
But I'm not opposed to the Sudot because I have one more talisman in viewer to get rid of. So it being 2-dot doesn't bother me at all. I love that. That'll let me get rid of another viewer. You know what I mean? Like that's all good. One more free slot.
Yeah,
Crazy. Yeah. I think I talked myself out of it, or I would have bought it already if that wasn't the case. But yeah, good update. Lots of little things.
long time coming.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long they were working on this. I think they've been working on a lot of other things. But it was... when we were testing this, we only tested this for like 5 days.
Yeah, it's not long at all.
And we finished the test live server. I think like we finished testing like the 8th or 9th. So like now I don't know how long they were working on it before obviously they work on stuff long before they get people to come on test live and test it. I mean they do their own QA and stuff. But yeah, it's certainly it felt to me at least like probably they were able to squeeze some time and I think they did probably. I'm guessing they did a fair amount in a pretty short amount of time. Because we know they have other projects at that studio. Also, they just moved offices.
They did, yeah.
So I'm sure they've got
Not too far away. Not too far away, but...
Yeah, but even if you moved your house across the street, it's still a big change.
It's still quite a move, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the nature of it. It's always a thing. The last, I think probably like last thing, but the scaling, this is kind of funny. The tank commander technically should be, if not easier, at least a shorter hard fight. So we talked a little bit earlier about apparently how he was overtuned when he went live.
Right.
Someone beat him, more or less day up, so they never tuned him down. So he's been adjusted because I mean he always auto scaled, but now with the Pachinko ball you can pick your level. And he's been tweaked. The scaling patches kind of affect everything, that's my understanding. So, it was something I noticed when I was testing, is that he had less health than when I beat him on live, even though it was on a higher elite. And I was like, wait a minute, how am I 7 tiers higher with less health? That said, the fight did not feel any easier. I think it's just shorter. He's basically less of an HP sponge.
That's good, though.
I think so. I feel like that's good.
Tuning it to make it not as long, but just as hard.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a hard fight, but you don't have that thing where, like, you're doing the thing for 10 minutes solid and you make a mistake and now you gotta start all over. Like, it was a bit of an endurance test, like how, you know, because even once you get the method down, especially with using pillars to, like, line of sight them, you know, you have to do that right every time. And the longer the fight goes on, the more you're apt to mess that up. So I feel like the damage output and how he responds to damage taken is still probably close to the same, but I think it's definitely shorter. But I don't think that hurts anything. I wish Darkness Lord dungeon got a pass like that. I feel like that dungeon is super HP heavy for, like, no real reason.
Well, wasn't that one of the big problems with the Secret World initially? Is that's what many people said, is they were like, you get into, like, a fight with just random mobs, and they felt like the fight would take forever.
Well,
for just like everyday mobs.
I experienced that in TSW way back in the beginning, but as it turned out, that was my own fault for not understanding that if you grab talismans with health, that means you are not grabbing talismans with attack.
With attack rating. No, once you get to the top end and you started lowering your health and raising your attack, they turned out to be much quicker. But
you just cut out. I heard like a pop that time.
I don't know what's going on. But it's
I didn't understand that it was a give and take, like that when you chose a health talisman, you were choosing to do less. I was like, my health bar is bigger, I must be more powerful. Like I literally did at the time when I had not really played like an MMO before. I didn't know what I was looking at. I was like, this is a bigger number. My health is bigger. I'm bigger, and not realizing that, you know, if you make all your talismans health, you're doing, like, no attack rating at all. Like, no damage is coming out. Mind you, I am persistent and stubborn. I was in Transylvania as Pistol Blood with 8k health, like, no damage talismans. And I was fighting vampires, like, fucking 15 minutes per vampire. Just, like, kiting them around.
You're like, why are these guys so hard?
No. That's the thing, though. It didn't bother me. I just do it. Other people were like, this is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
I just, like, was kiting, using the environment.
Like I remember that being one of the major complaints was mobs just had too much health. Like, fights were taking forever.
I think in the open world, at least, that most of that was related to the fact that in TSW you can make any build and you could do your gear any way you wanted, and you had people do stuff like I did, where, like, of course it's taking forever. My damage output is next to nothing. You know? It's not that they have that much HP, it's that my damage output is nothing because
it's nothing comparatively, because you're still working on getting my build up there, yeah.
Well, not just getting your build up there, but, like, you shouldn't be running around trying to kill stuff in 100% tank suit. Right?
Right.
That's my bad. I needed to go DPS, and I just didn't realize how the game worked at that point in time. And I didn't realize it for a very long time. And no, it's not just me, because even, like, I don't know, probably like a year or more later in the game, I remember seeing other people be running around farming stuff in, like, Shadowy Forest or something. And I ran into someone in Shadowy Forest with 8k health. And I was like, yo, Cinnamon, I've been where you are. You need to fix your talismans.
Stop it now.
I was like, your fights are taking really, really long, right? Everything takes forever to kill. It's too much HP for you. Yeah? It's because all your talismans are health talismans. You need to slot attack ranking talismans. You'll kill those guys in like 2 seconds. Like, so I don't know that the open world problem was ever that they had too much HP. I think it was more of a
you need to find your own balance.
And see, Legends doesn't have that because by default your anima allocation is 90-10, and you don't get to even play with it until like what, level 20?
Yeah.
So by default in Legends, you can't screw that up.
No.
90%.
You just steamroll everything, yeah.
You're doing 9% DPS, 10% tank to give you a little bit of survivability, and that is huge. That is huge for player experience. That you can't accidentally just make yourself a walking tank that does no damage. Yeah, I think that was the biggest problem. The Darkness War issue is that those things literally just have like thousands more HP than they really need to. You can do the fight perfect, you know the mechanics, and you're still going to be there for 2 minutes, like bursting the shit out of this guy. It's not difficult, it's not hard, it's not like the time you take to do it makes you slip up and die. Like if you fight Darkness War Boss 2, the dog, he does the same stuff. He attacks a tank, he does a little pie cone of filth. That's it. But you're going to be there for fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like Jason agreed, DW2 always had a bajillion health. The whole Darkness War, in general, I think everything's health is scaled up really high in there for whatever reason. I don't know. Because they're ancient, because it's in the past. I'm not really sure the reasoning. But yeah. But the complaint about everything having too much health, I think, was more that no one was doing the right amount of damage because they essentially weren't allocating right, even though allocation was done in a different manner.
That just wanted to survive.
You could just make horrible builds. You could just put whatever. You would see people running with one weapon and not two. They have passive slotted for weapons or in abilities they don't even like have. Like they're not afflicting, but they have an afflict passive. You know, like people would just make builds that were like literally just completely unworkable, and then run out and complain that they're dying and I can't kill anything.
It's like, well, yeah. But that was fun. But that was the fun of Secret World anyway. It felt like a puzzle. It felt like a really good puzzle getting a good build together.
So I still feel like it's like that in Legends. I feel like when you finally achieve a really good build in Legends, it's almost better because there's so many. You're working with less space. It's like those little puzzles with the one free slot, and you have to move the pieces around. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like you only have that one little thing. You got to move everything perfect. When you get all your abilities and your passives, your weapons, your weapon proc effects, your weapon mechanics, your talismans with the right effects for what you're doing, when all of that syncs, man, it feels good. Starfire said, did everyone see the Dr. Arthur Arsenal's out? We did. We discussed it at like
2 hours ago.
Well, even more recently, the talismans I've been talking. I almost bought it's from the Arsenal.
Oh yeah, it was from the Arsenal. Yeah.
Yeah, all the things that spawn custodians and gatekeepers and fate. That's all from the Arsenal.
They're like they see how many people still are carrying around the Revenant weapons.
Dude, I have a 3-pip Shadowbound Legendary 70.
Yeah.
I still got my stuff. I haven't really used them all.
He's fun. He's just fun.
Yeah.
I would call him Revy.
Yeah. I love when he pops out and runs in the target.
When he chases stuff.
Slap and runs away.
Like the dungeons,
he will.
The dungeons have bosses that run, like Hell Eternal Boss 2. Like he runs through the maze, and then your Revenant just like starts trying to follow him.
He's like, I'm gonna get you.
Especially when you're not expecting it, all of a sudden you see this Revenant, and you're like, wait, where does this one come from? Why can't I kill it?
Well, back in the beginning where he did weird stuff, like Eblis could decide to consume him. that can't happen anymore, but that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Not so funny was the things that would wipe the raid, because he could cause that too. I think the one thing that can still happen, if I'm not mistaken, I think on Darkness War Boss 5, you have the guy that teleports up top. Mm-hmm. So most groups don't run into him turning stuff into bombs that often, because you can usually get him down before that happens. But I think he can turn the Revenant into a bomb. Because it's a non-player entity, and he's just like, yep, you're a bomb now. So I want to say he could also turn the Snow Fort into a bomb.
Nice. Can he do it with just regular pets too?
I don't know about pets. I don't know if they're linked to you or not. Can you even summon a pet in another?
That's a good question. I don't even know.
I haven't tried. You might not be able to. No, Chasers is no. Starfighter said, Ally Boss is nice. I'm getting items and 3,500 XP per hour. Yeah, so that's a nice thing. So the Halloween event, that guy wasn't giving out any XP.
Right. And we don't know if that was a bug or if that was intentional.
Yeah. So it's not the 10k XP that the anniversary was giving, but it's nice to see that the hourly is actually giving out some decent XP. Yeah, you can't summon pets in dungeons, but yeah, that Snow Fort like item that you could get like spawn the Snow Fort. Like yeah, apparently if you do that and he hits that phase where he turns stuff into bombs, he can turn the Snow Fort into
the Snow Fort into a bomb.
Yeah, I think it's anything that's like a non-player. Beastmaster build has a new goal for sure. I'm a good part of the way. I only need that ring, which is why I almost fun. Because even without upgrading it, right? Even without upgrading it, I could throw all the pieces on and just go into like an E1 and just do like
raffle stomp
Ventura scene. So, like, here comes everything.
So that's when you just start dancing and you just let them all go at it. No, you got to do something. But
oh man, I need to figure out like the best way, because like you're gonna need to trigger the procs. So you have to attack 3 times. You have
basic attack. Just nothing but basic attack. Green 1-pip item.
But you also need to interrupt an ability or purge an effect off of them to trigger the other one, right?
Right.
And then what's the other one again? Crit. I think that one's crit.
Okay, well you'll crit.
One's not so hard.
Yeah.
Probably you can trigger the head and the luck piece at like the same time, but the ring one you're gonna need to purge or interrupt in order to trigger. And then I forget what the neck piece. What is this spear? What's this neck piece trigger?
I don't know.
You know what I mean, right? The ghost?
I know what you mean, yeah. But I forget off the top of my head.
Whenever you hit an enemy who's below 50% of their max health, you have a 33% chance. 10 seconds.
Okay.
So the enemy's going to have to be below half. I'm going to have to hit... So below half, I'll have to hit them 3 times, crit, and impair or purge something off them in order to get all that stuff to spawn. And you figure if I'm attacking with the Shadowbound blade, or actually, I think not even the blade, I think what I would attack with is the Shadowbound Chaos Focus, because then it can also proc doppelgangers. Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's going to be tricky. I think of like what encounter, what enemy like could
possibly proc everything at once.
Yeah.
And have your minion master going.
Well, plus, I don't know if have you ever seen where like someone is running chaos and all of a sudden they have like a bazillion doppelgangers?
Oh yeah. Yeah, when the doppelgangers proc and on top of doppelgangers and
like it happens in certain spots. I think in Ankh, boss 6, when Melitat like sits down, right? Like when that happens for whatever reason, doppelgangers go crazy. So if you're ever with someone in an Ankh dungeon that's running chaos, that all of a sudden, for whatever reason, when he's sitting down and like the tank's like running up the stairs to grab client, like all of a sudden there'll be like 7 fucking copies of them. And that's what's one of the spots. I don't know if Chikasu knows anymore. There's a couple spots in the game. I think it's when you're technically not able to attack, or something goes weird. I want to say it's like a divide by 0 error. Like your paradox is you're supposed to proc, like, I don't know, damage divisible by 8 or something, right? Is the chaos rule?
I think so.
But
yeah.
I think what happens is it zeroes it out, and when that happens, weird math shit happens. And then the doppelgangers go crazy.
So it's like, nope, this is a fail. Put another doppelganger. Nope, that one fails too. Get another one. Get another one. Get another one.
It's like divide by damage divisible by 8, and then you try and divide 0 by 8, and it does weird shit. And all of a sudden you're just proccing like nonstop. It's fun to see though. If you ever get a chance to see it, it's pretty neat to all of a sudden just see a shit ton of copies of somebody.
That's
but
fun.
I don't know that you can purge or impair anything at that point. So I don't think I could proc the one that's off of purge. I could probably proc everything else there. It's nice to have goals. I feel like that's what this update honestly is. Like other than the writing contest stuff and the generic winter event.
It basically is topping up more stuff for the top end. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more stuff to do. It's nice to give people that are still here and still hanging out. Because I know it's something that used to come up in the old Beyond the Veil streams. People would be like, well, what's there for the new people? And I'd be like, everything you haven't done yet.
Right. A lot.
There's a lot to do. You don't need new stuff for the new player. The new player that just started has a long road ahead of them. Now, I'm not saying we don't need new story in general. Like that would be, but Chikasu says he thinks you can proc the doppelgangers on the Jin when he does Enkindle because you can't. He's got that shield and you hit him for 0 for the chaos procking. But yeah, it is. I guess it's mostly for the top end. I mean, but that said, you can run Dark Agartha at like E1.
Yeah, you don't need to do much to run Dark Agartha, right?
Yeah. Now
and start towards your tier 4 talismans.
Yeah. Now, do you really need to? Is that the best use of your APSP? I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of fill out your fill everything out first. Maybe
I would almost look at it more of like, do I need Moth for something? Because then because I feel like more than upgrading your own gear, I feel like if you just at level 50 or you're like E2 or something, maybe you don't have the gear you want to end up with. Maybe you don't have that radiant talisman that you want. Maybe you're running, you're running not the best and sought pieces and you want them, but they cost marks. Well, you could trade your APSP, which is essentially playtime, right? You do missions to get that.
Right.
You could run Dark Agartha, get those fragments, and sell
the fragments. Yep.
Because the end guys want those. It takes 300 fragments to do one in viewer. Like, there's going to be demand for them. So, and plus, you're going to want them eventually. But I think how I would do Dark Agartha as like a level 50 person or relatively new, like low tier, is a way to potentially just generate revenue for other things that you need.
I mean, that's kind of what makes it an MMO, is really, yeah. You're either the supplier or you're the consumer in that point, but there's always that give and take as part of the economy, the secondary economy. That's what makes it an MMO.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like that's also what gives this purpose to more than just the top end players. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I feel like there is some legitimate reason, because I don't really see legitimately the reason, like the best expenditure of your resources as like a fresh E1 or E2 person to be grinding out for 4-pip stuff. I mean, that can wait until you get your stuff leveled into reds anyways, at which point you're going to be well past E2 or whatever. It's going to take you a long time to level it. Why spend the APSP on the extra pip? It's not going to matter that much. You need to level it first. Plus, you need to get your capstones and your passives and all that stuff.
You need to get all that up, yeah.
Yeah, all of that's got to go. But I would say if you were going to take the hit for anything, it would be in order to...
As your 1IP character showed, that getting all of that filled in is almost as important, if not even more so, than your gear. Yeah.
So I feel like the reasonable exchange for not putting your APSP into your own stuff is to convert it to money, essentially, to in-game marks, to make your current situation, whether it be like, oh, I farmed Dark Out like once a week, and I was able to buy the next sprint level, or I was able to get that Radiant headpiece I need for my build. You know what I mean? Like,
right, even just to trade it for Aram and then use it to, yeah,
like that seems like
get yourself those new emotes or something. Yeah,
yeah, that seems like a more legit thing than being like, hey, you level 50 guy, you need to do DA every day and grind for your 4-pip gear. No, you don't.
No, yeah, not necessarily. You can trade.
Like that extra pip is going to be nothing compared to the shit you would have had from just getting your passives and capstones. All that crit rating, all that crit power rating, all that hit rating, all the attack rating. Like, it's more beneficial at that level to sink that APSP into yourself. And if you're going to trade it, don't trade it for a pip that's not going to do much for you right now. Trade it for something. That's my suggestion anyways.
Yeah, kind of worry about the pips when you're already at the top level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
the difference
within reason.
Yeah. I mean, but like legitimately, the difference between your like 3-pip blue talisman and a 4-pip blue talisman, that's a joke. It's not, you would be better off putting that APSP into your stats. You would see a better return. I'm positive. And by the time you're leveled up, you can now run Dark Agartha and get more fragments, because you get more fragments the higher you can go.
The bigger, the higher levels you got. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy. Hate to cut you short, but I think it's getting a little late.
No, we're well past.
well past
the event horizon. Understandably. But that, man, it's a big lots of stuff. And nice to have something to talk about.
Yeah, especially when you got
4 pips.
But yeah, it's like the April Fool's Day update was actually like a huge update.
Were you talking and we couldn't hear you again? Is that what happened?
Probably.
We weren't talking over you, I swear. You just weren't saying anything.
I know. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm all right.
Yeah, no, the April Fool's patch was huge.
It was huge, yeah, and out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And this one, too, is kind of like, we're starting up the winter event. It's like, okay, all right, start a winter event. Good. Oh, yeah, by the way,
by the way, 4 pip.
By the way, 4 pip, and now everything's up to E, whatever you want it to be.
17.
17.
Oh, man. Well, it was
but all right.
Good show, I think.
Good show. I think we'll cut it up. Cut it here. Good show.
It's a very good show.
So, agents, this has been the 0 Point Report, strain 10 what was it? What did I say what did I name this? I don't have the thing on me right
KNR.
now.
Hold on. I can tell you. Crap, no, I can't.
KNR.
10-K.
10-KNR. It means something. Try to figure it out.
I know, right?
You can catch us recording live every...
Oh, you could have.
Last shot of the night.
Take a shot.
Everyone
Shots.
passed out.
Shots. I don't know. Maybe it's my mouse. I don't know. I'll have to try that. Anyway, you can catch us recording live every other Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on the 0 Point Report Twitch channel, unless I'm old and oldness takes over, which happens. Where you can also join us on the Twitch channel. Join us and chat with us while we do the show live. Or download our show wherever podcasts are found so you can listen to us on the go. You can get in touch with us by engaging with us on Twitter at 0 Point Report, emailing us at the 0 Point Report at gmail.com, checking out previous shows on our YouTube channel, and joining us on our Discord server, both named the 0 Point Report. From all of us here at the 0 Point Report, we want to thank you for tuning in and wish you all the best from the secret world. Have a great night. And see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Or
I left, and I was like, what's going on over there?
Have a good one.